that he's the greatest. I know. I saw it. I saw his greatness.
Let's just nip this in the bud right now. Just say yes. Emphatically, Donnie's better than Daniel.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Right as we start the show.
100%.
We're not even talking about like sports. We're just talking about life.
Now, I always liked the Sonics in NBA Jam. Like before I really started watching basketball, I was if I had to pick another team, like if they ever came back, they would be like my non-home team, the Sonics. Again, back to that Oregon area where I like the Oregon Ducks. You know, like that all kind of fits.
But not the Portland Trailblazers?
No. Can't say that I'm a fan.
But the Sonics were dope because, you know, you had Kemp and you had Gary
I love
Payton,
the uniforms.
So they were awesome. Yeah. And Kendall Gill, when you needed a three, like, you was good. In NBA Jam, that was a squad, you know? Especially on console where you couldn't have MJ.
We started the show by Dev waxing poetic about how terrible the Lakers are and how bruised and sad he is as a fan of theirs.
I didn't say any of that. You were putting words in my mouth.
You just
I just said
so beaten.
I just said I'm ready for a new era. We are cursed as long as we have AD. The man can't stay healthy to save his life. We have a new roster every month.
Every month.
Every month. Here's the new roster, y'all.
That is true.
This time I think we got the formula right.
That's life as a LeBron fan. Like when
we moved heaven and earth to get Westbrook, and then we shipped him out.
When you
move that shit right back.
When LeBron's on your team, like you come in for 2 weeks. If he passes you the ball and you miss, you're gone.
You're gone. Yeah.
He's like, you got to make those shots.
Yeah.
My assist numbers count on it.
He's going to be number one on assists when it's all said and done.
I don't think he can reach that.
No, he's not
too far.
But he's top 5 assists and points. It's insane.
It's insane how far Stockton is out in front of everyone else.
Yeah.
Like not only does he have it, he's got it by like 4,000. Like he's way out there.
Yeah.
Stockton is the only reason Karl Malone is number 3 in scoring.
Yeah, that's true.
The only reason.
Say that.
Like, yeah, people need to put some respect on Stockton's name. That's a bad dude. Like, he can play basketball, man. Yeah. For a little guy, he was a bad man.
He was.
Get 20 assist games and still have 20 points. Like, that dude, he could get buckets too. Like, don't get it twisted. Yeah.
Okay. Let's get into the show properly. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to PSVG. Let's start the show.
Welcome back, Internet, to the Play Some Video Games podcast. It's your boy, Dat Ninja Dev, joined as always by Donnie Eat the Hype Reese and the
fabulous
Delvin Cox.
Name's awesome.
You thought I forgot? Absolutely not.
I don't hate you for it. I don't hate you. Not one bit. Oh man, this is exciting day, exciting week. I'm having all the fun. I'm like super manic right now. It's been a great day. I played my Switch until it died moments ago. The battery died. Like it just was like, no more. You're done. Damn. So I've got my drinks. I just took a shot. I've got a brew. I am ready to podcast, gentlemen.
Excellent. How are you doing, Delvin? Out in the land of boys to men.
I'm doing good. It's been a eventful week, to say the least.
What's so eventful about it?
Like, we're not talking about that concert. but I would.
So you actually went to the concert?
Delvey out there with his lighter, just
just swaying back and forth, baby.
Feeling the soul.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not missing the Boyz II Men concert.
I mean,
you were talking so much shit.
So much. Like, we thought those tickets was sold.
Yep. And then he just took pictures.
I was
like,
considering it.
We out here.
Yeah.
No. Notice it was me out here. I was the only one in the picture. I won't take a picture of that.
Oh, that's
wow.
strategic. I know why that's there.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, but if that's the case, don't even post picture that you there. That was digital. I wasn't there. That's Photoshop, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, you out here mean mugging at a Boyz II Men concert.
Boyz II Men concert.
Like, who does that?
It was to be fair. It was
you hitting on ladies at Boyz II Men? Are you out here like trying to find like divorcees?
That would make sense. I could respect that.
It's not a bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
Not a bad idea.
You ain't getting nobody mean mugging though.
Nah.
That look happy.
Now you do. You do because you look mysterious. You look like he's mysterious. He must have had a hard life. Thug. You know?
Thug? How was your thug look? I didn't know that was the thug look. I didn't know
thugs wore like the manager shirt. Like you had the button up. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, sometimes.
Oh, so you're a reform thug. It was a reform thug. That's what you was going for. Yeah. I can change him.
Work in the stock room.
Look at Choppy.
Hey, Choppy. Fuck you.
Hey, speaking of which, I listened to Cadillac, and I'm going to tell you something that's going to save your life. Okay. The app is called Pocket Casts.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping somebody was going to say.
The best podcast app ever. The reason I can tell you that is that I got it like 10 years ago. And on multiple public occasions, I have tried to switch. And I have always come back to Old Faithful. Pocket Casts. That's the app.
Man, Apple Podcast fucking sucks.
Of course. We knew that in 2012. I don't know. You're just figuring this out.
They're just now finding out. Yeah. It's sad.
It's gotten worse. Much like Twitter, it's regressed a lot.
That's true. Twitter was all kinds of broke today.
Yeah. It's so broke. They're like, hey, fuck it. We're going to give y'all 4,000 characters now. Like, what the fuck am I doing? 4,000 characters on Twitter? Is this Facebook?
Yep. Oh, my God. Well, it's 4,000 Twitters. 4,000? Oh, no.
That's right, Tev. You're not on Twitter much anymore. Did you see the stuff that happened today?
I just heard that it was broken. One of my boys was like, Dev, go fix Twitter. Turn it back on. I can't follow new people. I can't get it. I'm like, I didn't do it.
During the direct, Haley was like, Twitter's broken. And I took that to mean like, these Nintendo announcements have set the world on fire. No, she meant that shit was just broke. Like it just wasn't working. Broke. I went to tweet and it was like, you've reached your daily allotment for tweets today. I mean, it's like, what? And you know, the scary part, apparently they know that. Apparently they have a way of doing that. So at some point down the line, we're going to be on the free Twitter plan where you get 3 tweets a day or something, which I'm not going to lie to you. That might be an enhancement. That might be good.
Yes.
A limit. Like if you've got to really make your tweets count, that might make it better.
I mean, unless it's part of Twitter Blue and the trolls will just pay to troll people.
Like, well, yeah, that's true. Yeah. They're going to do that.
Yeah. Damn shame.
It's just wild.
But yeah, man, Pocket Cast.
So
that's the
I'm
one.
gonna definitely do that one.
Yep. Yeah, you should. We've been preaching this for years now. This is nothing new. But you don't pay attention, so that's fine.
Not at all.
Isn't it? Do you have to pay for it now?
I don't think so. I think there's a free version. There's like a plus. There's a plus that you can get. That
they tried to make it a subscription thing, and then they grandfathered old folks like me into it, and then they might have reversed on that at some point. But it's even when they tried to make it paid, people were like, "I'm done with this," and then just like Hive, how's everybody's Hive accounts going? Just like that, everybody was back. Like that Reddit's still going. Like everybody was back. Like 2 days later. Can't leave Pocket Cast. So good. Yeah, Hive was that thing. Remember, everybody went to.
Yeah, follow me on Hive or Mastodon or whatever the hell.
That was our Twitter backup.
Yeah.
Well, like Twitter broken as fuck. We still not using that shit.
Yeah, we're still not.
We'll just do this.
Durant's over there talking all kinds of mad shit that nobody knows because nobody's there.
That might be a good idea. Just to go and just talk mad, crazy, wild shit. Ain't nobody gonna see it.
That's true.
Nope. Not at all. All right. So, Devin, you had a Boyz II Men concert that you went to. No, what else happened in your week? You said it was a very eventful week.
Let's get to the real story that everybody want to hear about. So, This is wild, by the way. So my son last Saturday kept driving me crazy that he wanted to go to GameStop and he wanted to reserve fucking game he wanted to reserve. It was some game. That doesn't matter.
Kirby.
Yeah, let's just say it's Kirby. It wasn't Kirby, but he was
an awesome dude. He wants to get Kirby.
No,
I get it.
I remember what it was. It was
It's
Jedi Survivor. That's what it
That's
was.
not nearly as good as Kirby, but continue.
Why are we pre-ordering physical games at this point? I'm so confused.
That's what he wanted to do.
Continue.
So I'm like, let's go. So you start leaving me alone. Because if I don't take him, he's gonna keep asking me over and over again in just different ways. Like, hey, leave me alone. Go over there. Dad, Survivor Jedi. Can I go pre-order it? Like, shut up. So to stop that from happening, I said, let's just go. So I go to GameStop. We're in the store and stuff like that. He pre-orders his game. We walk out. This motherfucking guy walks up to me like the goddamn guy from Resident Evil 4 with this
What are you
bag.
buying?
With this bag of shit. He's like, hey man, I got these games, man. You can buy them, man. They're like, I have these games. The motherfucker pulls out a bag. He has a book bag full of Hogwarts Legacy games. All the versions. Like, he had like every version. No, this is Saturday. The game wasn't out yet. So the motherfucker's in front of GameStop trying to sell me Hogwarts Legacy.
Yeah.
You're curious.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing about it was,
hang
he
on.
was desperate.
Is this new to you?
Yes.
Okay.
If the game's not out, if the game's not out, yes.
That's correct.
It's
But
new.
there's like a whole underground for this.
What?
There are people. Yeah, this is big, especially in metro areas. This is how Nintendo games and stuff get out. If you've never looked into it, there's like a Reddit threads about it. There are people that sign up for retails and they'll get like a case. A lot of folks have stopped ship. They have certain allotments that they'll now ship pre-orders to. But for years, people would sign up as a retailer. They would front a business, and then they would buy like a case of games. So they get like 100 copies of a new game, and then they would break street date and sell them to people for cash. And so like you could get Madden 2 weeks early for $100, just like a cash deal.
That just sounds like the swap meet.
Yeah, kind of. But this is it's like big in California. It's like a thing in Texas, usually metro areas. Like it doesn't surprise me at all. Like I felt like Miami.
I've never seen this in my life.
Really?
Well,
wow.
Well, riddle me this, Batman. Can you guess how much he was selling Hogwarts Legacy for?
$40.
$9.99.
No.
$20.
$20.
I was gonna say 20. I was thinking, what's an easy way to
thinking 20,
pay for
something?
Go I was thinking 2 20s or 120, but either way, it was gonna be in $20 increments.
And homie was stressing. I guess he realized that black people ain't trying to play no Harry Potter game. Because that bag was full to the motherfucker. He was like, yo, man, it's the real. He kept trying to convince me. It's the real game.
Yeah.
It's the real game. Just buy a copy, man. I have it on sale. $20.
And he may have just stole a case, right? He may have just got his hands on.
That's what I think he did.
Yeah, that could be it too. But like I'm telling you, like I've read all about this on Reddit. It's a real big thing for like Grand Theft Auto and Pokemon. Like there is a huge market if you get your hands on early Pokemon releases. You can sell a Pokemon game $250 if you can get it to somebody 2-3 weeks before it comes out. And like that's why they always break street dates. That's why you always see people on Twitch and stuff playing early. Like there are retailers that'll sign up, right? And they'll be like, I need 10 cases, and they'll just like take like a half a case and they'll make a quick grand, by selling them extra. And some certain publishers have started tracking like game codes, like ID codes on who was like trying to pinpoint which retailers are breaking street dates. But then they can always just be like, that got stolen. Like that happens too. Like, this is a thing.
That's only in LA. That is literally just a swap meet thing. There's nobody on the street just selling cases of games. But the swap meet is always going to have your back and have something early, especially like Maddens and stuff.
Yeah. Call of Duty is a big one. Yeah.
So the question, Delvin, is why you didn't get the rest of us a game for $20, man? What the hell?
Oh, I don't want that game.
I know you don't. When I say the rest of it, I just mean me.
I don't like. I do want to hear about it because apparently it's really good.
I figured it would be based on everything that I've seen. Like, it looked good.
I just don't know anything about Harry Potter. I have no. It's not even like interest. I honestly just don't know. So
I had no interest in buying this game whatsoever. But on the other hand, I'm like, it's $25, and this game is not even out. That's a cool fucking story. And I was trying to tell my son, but he's acting like a little narc. I don't know why he didn't. I was like, just buy a copy. He's like, oh, I don't want to play. I don't care about Harry Potter. I'm like, who gives a fuck?
You could have bought that copy and then sold it.
Now,
yes.
Another thing to think about, not that I think Hogwarts doesn't, and I'm sorry to keep interrupting you, not that Hogwarts fits into this, but other times, like with other games, that shit can get your console locked. They find that you're playing, they'll break your console. That happens too. You gotta be real careful.
Play it offline.
That's why that's what I did. That's what I was doing.
Nice.
I was playing offline for a good portion of it. But so I actually think the game's pretty fun. It's fucking, if you're a Harry Potter fan, I only watched like the first movie because the girl kept telling me you should watch Harry Potter. I'm like, all those movies? Fuck no. She said, just watch the first one.
You say that like you don't watch 30,000 Marvel and DC things. Everybody has their fandom.
Marvel and DC.
And she liked
Harry
Harry
Potter's
Potter.
not my fandom. Yeah, she loves Harry Potter.
But you make it seem like it's not a thing.
But it's like 1,000 movies.
Oh, it's definitely a thing.
There's less movies. There's less Harry Potter movies than there are Marvel movies. Stop it.
But it's a difference when you start off with the Marvel movies, watching them 2 or 3 times a year, as opposed to going back and watching all 9 movies.
Oh, you say all 9 like that's a lot.
Yeah. I totally went back and watched every movie in the MCU.
Yeah, that was like 22 movies at the time. It's not that different. Yeah, no.
But please, let's move beyond this. I want to hear about the game. What is the game? Tell me, not just if you like it. I want to know, like, tell me about the loop. Like, what are you doing as the player in this game?
I'm not too far in it yet. I'm far in it. Because the first thing, the intro of the game is kind of long and it's a lot of exposition. I can tell this part. It doesn't, because this doesn't really matter. Like, the game starts off, you're a student going to Hogwarts, of course, and you're flying to Hogwarts with your teacher and stuff like that. Of course.
He's like, I think I can tell this. Proceeds to say the one thing everybody knows about Hogwarts.
This is plot spoilers. So something happens on the way there before you get to Hogwarts, and you have this whole thing. Like, I guess it's a tutorial where you have to walk through these caves and stuff with your teacher, and he's teaching you little
hang on. This isn't what I'm looking for. You're describing, like, what is the game? Is it an open world game? Is it a combat game? Like, is it turn based? Like, what is the game?
It's semi-open world. It's action adventure. You are a student at Hogwarts. There is some kind of conspiracy that you're trying to figure out while you're a student at Hogwarts. You're just basically playing Harry Potter.
Okay.
So that's 100%.
And I don't know what Harry Potter is, so I don't know what that means.
It just means, okay, so you're a wizard.
Are you riding brooms? Are you casting spells? Like, what?
You're riding a broom, you're casting spells, and you're trying to thwart the evil doers while also being a student at this school.
So it's Persona.
Exactly.
Yes, I was going to say it's kind of like Persona in the aspect. It's not turn-based, but the idea, you're a student and you're dealing with shit. You're going to save the fucking world as a student.
Yeah, kind of. Pretty much. But as you go into the school, you do different things, like all the stuff that you do in Harry Potter, like playoffs. What's the fucking stupid game is?
Quidditch.
That they play Quidditch and stuff like that.
I don't think you play
Dev
Quidditch.
knows all the things.
I'm reading through Harry Potter with my daughter. So my mom was a huge Harry Potter fan. I haven't seen all the movies, but I'm reading through all the movies reading through all the books with my daughter, and I followed the game because it looked cool.
Yeah, so. In the game, the things I can tell you about the game is, one, is very lore heavy. They're going to tell you about some Harry Potter and history that's going on. Like, as you're going through this intro, they're telling you all you need to learn.
Okay.
It's about a good.
So do you need to know like some Harry Potter to play?
This is all set way before Harry Potter. So this is a brand new story. It's set like I want to say like 100 years before Harry Potter even takes place. So it's all stuff that predates anything. So you don't need to know anything about Harry Potter going into the game. Yeah. It's literally, you want to play a game where you're a magician with the wizard or with the wand, and it's in the place where Harry Potter was set. Let's go. You get to join one of the houses. I mean, yeah, it's not for you, Donnie. I can't see you enjoying this. But for people who have wanted to go to Hogwarts, this is it.
and live the Harry Potter fantasy.
This is the ultimate Harry Potter experience. They even give you the whole thing where they put the hat on your head and you can kind of like based off the answers, you can pick what house you're in, whether it's Gryffindor or stuff like that. So
does that work?
That actually works, John.
A better Forspoken.
That actually works.
All right.
Yeah, no Voldemort or Harry Chaffee.
Yeah, it's a pretty, like I said, it's pretty lore heavy. Like if you like Harry Potter, you notice all the little Harry Potter quirks and things, like the paintings talking to you and stuff like that, and you can create your own character. Let me just address the
hairstyle, man. Woo.
Hairstyles are rough. They don't give a fuck
really?
about black hair.
See, that's crazy because one of the things that made me even want to play the game was like when they were like showcasing the character creator, the black hair looked like black hair. I was like, oh my God, finally.
I remember you saying that.
It doesn't look like it when I play it. I don't know if it's because I played it so early, but nah.
Jeff, now we need you to play the game, and
I got to play it on PC and find out.
Reference. We got to figure this out.
The homie I got looked like he got a Bruno Mars hairdo. Like he just.
Oh no.
Like,
nah,
this ain't it, Chief. But otherwise, I think the world is pretty cool. I like the building the wizards and stuff. The customization is cool. I like that you can make non-binary characters. So for all the stuff that people were saying, the game is very inclusive.
Look, shout out to Board of Video Games. They had a long, detailed, cover all bases, which sides of this debate and discussion, and they stuck up for both sides, and they really explored the space completely. And I appreciate that at least one podcast on the PSVG Podcast Network is going to give that to you, because I was listening to it and I was like, ain't no way in hell you would get that from us, because fuck them. That's the motto. Who gives a shit? Okay, if you want to hate the game, hate the game. If you want to play the game, fuck the hate.
Play the game.
Do what you want.
Do you?
That's it.
That's what I kind of say. Like, just play it. You want to play it? Play it.
I see everybody arguing on both sides on Twitter, and it's like, who gives a shit?
It's like, everybody shut up. Let people do what they want to do. Move along. You don't like it? Don't like it. Shut up and get out the way.
That's it.
You want to play it? Play it. Don't worry about anybody else. Let's go.
Yeah, that's how the best way to look at it. Just like, want to play it? Play it at this point. But it's a fun game. The combat.
You want to play it early?
Play one combat.
Hook up with Delvin. He's got a guy. $20.
Hey, go find me a copy, Delvin. Come on. I will cash app you $20. Let's go.
Just going for the GameStop. I'll probably be there. Open up his book bag, desperately trying to sell it because he realized he's in the hood. Anybody trying to play on Harry Potter in the hood? Man, homie was desperate.
Probably,
that's hilarious.
He overshot the market.
You should have haggled him down to like $10.
Everybody's gonna want this. It's like, you want the Harry Potter? Nah, man. Get out of here.
Nah, fuck out of here. Get out of my face, white boy. That's exactly what they said. I'm 100% positive that's exactly what they said.
And my daughter's in the Harry Potter. I literally know nothing about it. Like, zero. I couldn't name characters. Like, I got nothing. So I'm just out of that world.
Nice.
From from the first movie when I played, it's a very, if you like that type of lore stuff like Lord of the Rings.
See, and I love Lord of the Rings, but I don't have. Well, yeah, I don't have. I was just gonna say, I just don't have the room. Yeah. Like you, Delvin, I appreciate. You seem to have infinite amounts of room for animes and comics and timelines and universes. I don't. I get like one or two things, and like that's my thing, and I'm gonna do that. And that's
this is the problem. I have room for all that stuff, but you have room for useful things like technology and fixing stuff.
Oh,
I don't have room for that.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Oh man, so I'm like the combination because I got room for both.
Yeah.
I can't be doing all these damn universes and 18 seasons of stuff and all that. No,
let's go. Give me all the seasons.
I never would have got into Harry Potter at the start. They were like, "Look, you want to get into Harry Potter?" If somebody was like, "Hey, do you want to get into like a fantasy series like Lord of the Rings?" I'd be like, I love Lord of the Rings. And then they handed me like, here's 9 books. No, like it's just an instant no. And I think that's just what happened. And I just never got on the train. I was just like, nah, I'm just gonna miss this one. I'm okay.
You say I got 9 books. I'm like, let's go. I get to be in this for a long while. Hell,
absolutely not. I have very little time, and I'm not going to dedicate it to this.
I wasn't in the age range of what a Harry Potter fan would be, so maybe that's probably what it was. But I was 20 when Harry Potter came out. When Harry Potter came
Were we that old?
I feel like.
Were we that old? Yeah, because I don't remember it in high school. So yeah, I don't remember Harry Potter in high school at all. It definitely had to come out when we were in college.
Yeah, I was just say it was definitely a thing as I was coming up. Like people were into it.
Yeah, so
because I didn't get into it either.
And I'm like a half gen behind you guys, so that makes sense.
Because I remember like that was a thing where kids were like reading in school often. Like, hey, teachers were like, hey, y'all can read Harry Potter.
Oh no,
that wasn't
the first book came out in '97, so we were definitely in high school.
I was a junior, probably. Yeah, junior.
Yeah, I think I was a sophomore.
It didn't catch on like mainstream for a couple in, right?
Probably most likely.
Sure. Yeah. I probably didn't catch on until the movie came out. That's my guess, because I know the movies came out before the final book.
Because I don't remember it like in early school, but by the time I was in high school, it was definitely a thing. People are really into it, and good for them. I'm glad they have their thing.
Yeah.
I was definitely like, I'm not reading no Harry Potter.
I hope it's good.
In '97, it's like, no, thank you. I'm good.
Even the movies. My daughter's like, you want to watch these movies?
I didn't see none of the movies in theaters or nothing either. My mom did. I still haven't seen all the movies. I've seen.
My Will Ferrell gift? My nope on the couch. It's just my life.
Yep.
Man. Just,
nope. Hey, I'm with you. I'm with you on a lot of things. Like, nah, I'm good.
You're like, Donnie plays all these games. There's a reason. There's a reason why. You got to make room for all that stuff. I ain't got time to watch 18 movies. I'm good. No thanks.
Yeah.
Speaking of all this time and game playing, Donnie, you played a good amount of stuff. You dove into that Steam Fest next thing or whatever the hell it's called. And
you done, Delph? Do you have anything else?
Oh, we can go on to you. I want to hear
transition. It was a transition.
I know.
I messed up the whole damn transition.
I'm off, man. He seemed like
that's what we do here. That's what we do here. We cut
him off.
I have a lot, but we don't have enough time. I have oodles of stuff that happens.
It's gonna be a long show. Yes, I finished Fire Emblem Engage last week, and I finally was able to move on to other stuff. So I'm playing Hi-Fi Rush. Like I'm actually I'm on track 5. I don't know how many are in there, but I've been playing it. I still am really enjoying it. I think it's one of the better first-party games that Xbox has released, not named Forza sometime. I will tell you that having sunk my teeth into it, it's not as bad. It's just it's long. Like it's a short game. Like it's not a long game. It's not like an 80-hour game, but like I'm on like one chapter, and the chapters take 90 minutes. Like this a long chapter. It's like an hour long. I'm just and each chapter has like a theme, so I just felt like I was kind of doing these arenas just a little bit. Like I was like, can we progress the game a little faster than this? Just a little bit. And I'm not like critiquing it too hard. It's just it's in a way it's kind of reminiscent of design wise. Obviously I'm not speaking of the dialogue or the characters, but the gameplay design is reminiscent of No More Heroes, especially 3. It's very similar to that. The game is way more platforming than I expected, and it's good. Like it's a better platforming than I expected. When I first saw the platforming, I just kind of thought the platforming was a means of getting you between these arenas, and it is, but it's good. They've got a lot of hidden tricks. There's a lot of hidden things. I'm constantly scanning the environment, looking up, looking around, trying to find little hidden nooks and crannies to find stuff that they have hidden off the beaten path. That's really rewarding. I'm enjoying that. It's just like this combat. There's a lot of it. They just keep dropping you into an arena where they're like, here's 5 robots to kill. Here's 7 robots to kill. Here's 9 robots to kill. Here's 3 big robots to kill. And it's a lot. Like, I just feel like I'm doing.
Can we speed this up a little bit? I'm like, pressed for time here. Let's
throw
me
something else. It's just like, are we just going to keep doing this? And I guess it's ultimately, you know what? That might just be a really long-winded way of me just saying the combat. I don't necessarily feel like it's very rewarding.
Competitive?
A little bit, but I mean, even on all combat's repetitive if you do it long enough. It's just reward. Like I don't necessarily know if it feels great for me to play it, and I'm scoring pretty well. Got some S ranks, getting A ranks, mostly B ranks, a couple C ranks. Like the rhythm gameplay isn't bad, but you don't have to stay on beat. If you want to chase high scores, you do. But you can just beat up people and just go off beat. It's not like one of those rhythm games where you get penalized if you're off beat. You don't. You can just hack and slash your way through it if you want. They do have some levels where they force you to parry like correctly, and you have to parry on beat.
Ooh.
So it's really weird that you could totally just beat up people and go off beat if you want, but to parry in advance, you have to do it on beat. So there's some of that. I think that might bother some people. It didn't bother me, but I think it might bother some. And the music though, now that I'm a few hours in, a lot of it's kind of samey. Like where early on it felt like a little different, and now I just kind of feel like WWE bar chords over and over again. It's just like I don't know. I'm still enjoying it. I hope people will take that away. It's just I'm not like 10 out of 10. It's the most amazing thing. I don't think so. I think there's some critiques to be had, none of which have anything to do with the dialogue, which is hilarious. Not just more so than the dialogue, but like the vibe that the dialogue and the art and the characters are all kind of putting in has like this 90s cartoon vibe, and they nail it. Like that is really good stuff. And the world, the way it mixes. So you guys haven't played it at all, right?
Nope. I'm waiting for the black version of this set in the hood with Earth, Wind, and Fire music.
It'd be nice.
So when they make that, then I'm gonna play
Earth, Wind, and Fire. Have you seen this TikTok? I'll have to get you this TikTok. The world kind of pulsates to the beat when you're platforming throughout it. Like there are things around you, and the world just kind of is alive with you, and that is really sweet. Like it's really nice the way they it's very well made. Like it is exactly what it is, and it may not be for everybody, but what it is very well done. So I'm enjoying it. I'm playing Fashion Police Squad, which if you guys didn't listen to Nintendo Shack, fabulous. The game is fucking dope. It's so much fun. It's so funny that I was playing it and my wife walked by, stopped, watched me play it for a few minutes, sat down, and then started talking to me about it, and then wanted to play. Like it just oozes fun. So
did you sit Jack down like, Jack, this is the games you should be looking for. This is AAA.
Oh no, we didn't have that talk. I should ask you if AAA. Yeah, I wish you guys would play it. I sent you guys screens. It didn't sound like you had much any interest, but just
no. I bought it. I bought it.
It's really good. I hope you like it. It's Rick James, man. Like I'm Rick James bit. It's so funny. You are a cop that shoots people because they have no style, and they might be wearing flip-flops with socks or suits that don't fit, or their pants sag. And when you shoot them, they're like dolls. I think they call them. They're like gray. And when you shoot them, they pizzazz into like this retro bright outfit, and you do the thing. Well, he just muted himself, took his headphones off. Never mind. I guess that shit didn't work the way I thought it would.
Yeah, he just fucked that up.
No, I took off one headphone. I can still hear you.
Do the thing.
He was telling you to hit the drop.
Hit the drop.
Oh, my bad. My kids are making a lot of noise. Sorry.
When you shoot them, they change in this poppy color, and you get like the big comic, kaboom stuff. And
Fabulous.
This guy comes across. He's like, "Damn, dapper, you looking fine." And you do this enough, and you get to whip people with your belt. You take your belt off and whip them in the face. You use your belt to grapple across like street poles. You can start to you get like this Spider-Man kind of grapple hook thing while you're shooting. It's a boomer shooter. So this is like Doom 64, right? And you're doing all of this, and then you get this power up where you get this glittery glove that comes down, and you go
Michael
around
Jackson glove?
smacking the shit out of people, just right in the face. You just zoom to them and smack, and zoom, smack, and it's hilarious. God, it's really fun. It's a lot of fun, and plays great on Switch. Beautiful, fast. I'm digging it. I played Steam Next Fest. I played a lot of stuff on the Steam Next Fest. I played golf in it, and it's fun. It's a little arcadey golf game. It's coming out at some point. I played System Shock, which
Oh,
I don't know what I'm supposed to. I never played System Shock, so I was lost. I was lost. I'm running around. I'm like, I don't know where to go. I don't know what I'm supposed to go. I got this pipe. I'm gonna hit some folks, but
I can't wait to try that.
it's gorgeous. It's beautiful. I mean, for a retro, I mean, this thing has got all the cyberpunk vibes that cyberpunk didn't have. I mean,
it's first person, right?
Yeah. Yep. It's stellar. It's really good. And it's very interactive. Like almost every wall and stuff has a switch that turns on a light or opens a door or turns on music and stuff. Like I can understand why people love it so much. It had to be very ahead of its time if this is like a true to form remake. But I had no idea what I was supposed to be doing or how I was going around. So I eventually died a couple times and I was like, well, that's okay. I'll turn the demo off here. I'll get it one day, but I'll probably need to get a guide or something. So I need to watch somebody teach me how to like what the objective that I'm supposed to be doing. Cause I was getting lost. You're just walking around this labyrinth of a spaceship, you know? And I played, go ahead.
Do you kind of see the roots of the other games?
Yeah.
Like
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
System Shock. I can see. Okay, that's how we got to.
Yep. And if anything,
super interesting
for somebody who's never played it, like and had no history with it, it felt like a really cool like demake of that. It's like this pixely grittier version. I was like, this is neat. Like just that in itself is cool. I would take a lot of that, even if it was like a brand new game, I'd still be interested. The other demo that I played, a more fully fledged demo, was the demo for Planet of Lana, which is coming to PC. It's also coming to Game Pass. It's from Thunderful, and it is a puzzle platformer, and it has a very sci-fi-y, sinister type of world building that they're going at, kind of like Somerville. There's like this AI or robots or something that crashed on this planet, and they are not good robots. They will kill you if they see you. It's kind of like maybe something more like a Limbo, like an Inside type of thing. But it's gorgeous. I posted screenshots on Twitter and the Discord. It's a really pretty game. And I typically like everything that Thunderful makes. So this is I'm very excited for this one. This is on my anticipated list for this year. So I was happy they let us go hands-on with it. It was pretty great. So I've been playing a lot of stuff. I'll mention a couple more things that I played when we get into it in the news, but I'm playing a bunch of stuff. But how did you guys like Last of Us Episode 4?
Didn't see it yet.
Oh, wow.
I watch it.
Oh, wow.
That busy.
Damn.
Yeah, same.
Okay.
I haven't had time.
See, that's why we don't have time for Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Dev, I think you will like it. I'm not sure if you saw my tweets, but if you were somebody that wanted it to be more like the game and less like the departure that they had in the last episode, that's exactly what it almost feels like. They're kind of making up for what they did with the last episode. Like this is very close to the game, like on point. So yeah, if you were looking for more of that, you'll be very happy.
I was just looking for more action.
Okay.
Like,
there's more action
really
too.
What it is.
There's more
it's
action
like, okay, yeah, I get it. Relationship. Let's move along.
It's very, very like one-to-one for the game mostly.
I don't hate love, but I don't care about it in my media consumption.
Oh, we get it. We know.
Yeah.
You hate love.
Yeah, you hate love.
It's okay. Man. You found happiness. Now you hate everybody else's happiness. It's okay. I understand. I get it. It's okay for you to be happy.
Wow.
But fuck everybody else.
If I had the LL Cool J, I'm alone in my room, I would have played that for you right now. Because apparently you need love. Yeah. I played Dishonored too.
Nice.
That was fun.
That's a good game.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I never finished it on like PlayStation when it came out. I had it the day it came out. I played it for like a week and then just never went back.
Wasn't it free? I think it was free on Epic this week or something. Yeah.
Oh, I got it free a long time ago. I got it free a long time ago on PC, on Steam. Actually, I think I got it for like $6. But yeah.
Good.
So yeah, I was like,
Who did you play?
Go ahead and Emily. I mean, I already played as Corvo in the first one, so I'm gonna play as Emily in the second one. I'm like, let's change it up, switch it up on them. You know what I'm saying? Sure. Flip mode is the greatest. I mean, it doesn't matter. I'm only gonna use blink and choke everybody out. I play this game super stealth. I don't try to kill anybody. So I just finished like the Clockwork level, the Clockwork Tower, which was really dope, like everybody says. But I'm really enjoying it. It's nice to be back in that Dishonored world. I like what they've done with the lore, where they're taking it, giving a little bit more backstory to how the outsider is and all of that good stuff. But it's been fun. Just something different. I didn't feel like playing a shooter or anything. I wanted to play something a little different. So I was like, let me boot up Dishonored, because I never finished that, because I'm in a total lull of games. I'm like in a complete funk. Like I just don't want to play much of anything. So I found something that was like, let's go.
Well, your Jedi's coming.
Yeah, it is. Not until April though. But before that, I'm gonna play Destiny. So I'm kind of jonesing for that. Just to be back in that world with the story progression that they're gonna be doing with the expansion. But like nothing else has really pulled me to play at all. So
it's a bummer.
There's a lot of stuff coming out.
That's how I am. There's like I feel like I don't have enough time in the day, and like my weekend, I was just watching the hours go by, and I was like, oh, I gotta get back to my PC. A thing that even helped me with Hi-Fi Rush, I'm playing on PC. I moved over to PC for Game Pass app. I felt like I wasn't like I kept telling myself I was like I want to play Hi-Fi Rush. I want to play Hi-Fi Rush. I just couldn't find the time or the place to sit down in the chair and turn it on my Xbox. And I was like, fuck it, we'll just put it on the PC, because it's like I've gotten really comfortable and I like the multitasking that I can do when I'm playing games here. I've got my Chromebook right next to me. It's very easy to like check Twitter or check a message with my wife and then ping something to Discord and then play a little bit of my game and then check my email and play a little bit. It's like I miss that when I'm at console. Like I kind of like look around, so I was like,
well, I mean, just hook up your Xbox to the TV there and just have an all-encompassing battle station the same way I do. I have everything right here, so I can multitask. And it's great. I mean, look, you got the really nice TV, the OLED. It's gonna make the Xbox sing. It's gonna be great.
I have the Xbox here, Game Pass PC app.
That's true. True. So then just throw the console away. We don't need it. Consoles are dead to us.
Throw it away.
Throw it away. Consoles are dead to us. We don't need those anymore.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, there's games out. Like, I kind of want to play Dead Space, but I don't want to buy it. That's the thing. Like, I'm just like,
I haven't even got to buy it yet. I'm so behind. I bought it. I have pre-ordered. I haven't even played it yet.
Is there like some Steam game sharing thing that we can do then? let me play it for you.
I don't know,
because
you have to look into that. I don't know.
I have no idea. But
I'm sure we can.
I'm sure there's a way. But yeah, I just been in like a weird funk. Like just nothing has called to me. And I've been really, really tired. Like I've just been extremely busy and just exhausted. So even when I get to the PC to play anything, I'm kind of like, I just want to go to bed. And that's what I've been doing a lot lately.
Monday I went to bed at like 7. I was just so tired. Like I ate and just laid down and went to bed.
Yeah. So sometimes it bees that way.
Yeah.
All right. Enough of that. Donnie.
Damn.
Let's get into the news.
We have a bumper that was sent in by a listener specifically for Delvin. So
here we go.
Excited.
Hey Delvin, can the YouTuber Markiplier beat Wonder Woman with a single punch? I think the correct answer is
yeah. You know what?
That was amazing. That was incredible, Kyle.
We're not accepting any more fan-made bumpers.
That's what we just learned. LA Knight
We're not allowed.
Could beat up Wonder Woman, I think is what we just learned. Is that what we learned?
No.
I think so. Yeah. Well,
hey, you know what, Delvin? When you release the tapes, you can start making rules. Until then,
that's true.
You don't get to make any rules.
No tapes, no vote. Sorry. That's our legacy until we hear legacy. Some boring news this week in financials, because that is so much of the news. Everybody's doing financials, so we'll try to skim through some of it. Take-Two will begin cutting costs, $50 million, beginning with projects, developments, and personnel. So AKA Take-Two will also be laying people off. Net revenue increased 56% this quarter. They're still laying people off.
What? How? Why?
Yeah.
Digital.
Oh
that
my
works.
God.
Yeah. But they got to raise the price of games. Games are getting they cost too much to make. We got to pay these developers. Like,
I've been saying it.
do you see the shit they tell us? Like, you can't just take these people at their word.
So this is some bullshit.
said
And this is why
years.
I respect the hell out of Nintendo. Because Nintendo's like, you know what? Things are
we're gonna have
going
to talk
down,
about something like this.
but we're going to go ahead and we're going to give everybody raises.
Don't take the bait. You should know better. I got into an argument with. Listen, let's start. Let's do that. Nintendo gave everybody a 10% raise, and all the Nintendo fans, to include, I'm going to make sure I call it out to be clear, Mike Minotti, who he read this. He was so happy to read this on his show so he could get his dig in at Xbox. He was like, "See, Xbox is laying everybody off, and Nintendo, the great white knight Nintendo, is giving everybody a 10% raise." Now here's the deal, guys. You guys, I hope our listeners know, I like to know things before I just take these headlines and run with them. I love Nintendo. I do. Okay. They gave all their employees a 10% raise when most Japanese companies are giving people 30 and 40 and 50% raise because their inflation that they're fighting right now is an all-time worse. Way worse than what we're fighting. Also,
even with that, I'm still glad somebody's getting raises to fight inflation.
Fair. Capcom and Square gave bigger raises. But here's the thing. Nintendo doesn't employ a percentage of what a Take-Two or definitely a Microsoft. Like, these are not apples and oranges. Like, this is not the same. You can't look at them and be like, oh, this is a good video game company. These are bad video game companies. That's not how this works. Also, Nintendo farms out so much of their development to second-party partners who are laying off people. Like, that's a big part of it too. People are like, Nintendo doesn't do this to their people. It's like, yeah, because they don't hire that many people. They just pay people for projects until they go under. Like, that's a part of it too. Like, and I'm not saying to not be happy for Nintendo or its employees or not even be proud of what they're doing. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying before anybody takes that and tries to compare it to the rest of the industry, just know the whole story. There's a bit more to it than that. It's not like in Japan.
Take it and run, okay? I'm taking it and running because the fact that your net increase went up and you're still gonna be doing all these layoffs. It's just like
I've been saying,
Dev, in Japan, that news of Nintendo wasn't met with
I'm sure it wasn't
applause. It wasn't like, oh, it was more like,
I'm sure it wasn't.
Thanks, Nintendo, for doing the bare minimum. Like, it wasn't. Yeah.
I'll take the bare minimum versus all the layoffs. Like,
yeah, that's fair.
Everybody was saying this. Oh, they have to increase the price on games because it's costing too much.
Been trying to say
everybody's also fucking reporting record profits.
Billions. $1 profits.
Billion
they have
on free-to-play games. Free-to-play games with microtransactions.
They've been reporting billion profits for years. It's not like a new thing. For years. I think 7 or 8 year run now, year over year, more and more money. They're making more money than they ever have.
I don't want to hear that bullshit about, oh, they had to do it. They didn't have to do shit. They
That Sean Layden pity party really bothered me because he was like, we can't afford to make these games no more. And I'm like, your financials say otherwise.
Yeah. The fact that Grand Theft Auto came out on PS3 and it's still selling copies.
Yep.
What the hell?
Now, the thing is with the tech companies, they're not cutting jobs because they're losing money. They're cutting jobs because they're expecting the market to take a downturn. So they're trying to right size. And that's just a part of, I'm not defending it. It's a part of how they do business. That's just a part of running a tech company.
Cut some of these daggone CEOs' money. That's what we need.
That would be nice.
But
we all know that pay cuts.
Damn capitalism.
2K23 sold 8 million units, 3 million since its launch quarter. Red Dead Redemption 2 has sold lifetime 50 million copies.
That is insane.
Woo.
Grand Theft Auto 5 has reached over 175 million copies sold. And the Grand Theft Auto franchise overall has sold almost 400 million copies.
That is insane.
Jason Schreier reports Marvel's Midnight Suns was a critical success, but a commercial flop. In an interview with CEO Strauss Zelnick, we got the quote, "It's possible the release window wasn't perfect, but that he thinks it could have a long tail like other Firaxis games."
So here's my thing. Grand Theft Auto shines so games like Marvel Midnight Suns can flop. Like, you're making so much money from Red Dead and Grand Theft Auto that, like, the fact that Midnight Suns isn't a flop at all. Like, maybe it didn't meet, like, what are you looking at for this game to make? Like, the fact that it's a critical success and probably will have a long tail, like, how is that a flop? Like, it's so ridiculous.
Probably an internal target. So I mean, it definitely sounded like that game did not sell very well, especially how fast they cut the price. I would expect it to show up.
Shouldn't release games at the end of December. That's the bad look.
I said it when it came out. They kind of marketed that game bad.
Yeah,
yeah.
But this is why. This is the importance of a publisher. If this was a self-funded studio and they made Marvel Midnight Suns, that studio might go defunct. Because they have Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead to pay the bills, they can take chances on projects like Midnight Suns. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. Firaxis will make more games. Like, that's the importance of a publisher. A lot of times, like, we like to chalk up everything as the evil corporate, bad guy. And it's like, there's a reason that they exist and there's a role that they play. And that's the role. So hopefully it'll turn around. And it should be a game that can have a longer tail, but I would expect Midnight Suns to show up in Game Pass and Plus and stuff soon.
This just leave it at Midnight Suns was a critical success, and leave it at that. Leave off the commercial flop part. Just critical success.
That's not the story. Yeah. That's nobody wants to read that. Activision Blizz news: annual sales are up 7.5 billion in 2022. I'm sorry, down from 8.8 billion in 2021. So they're down from last year. Q4 sales reached 2.33 billion, up from 2.16 billion, which is what I was expected to say, based off the strength of Modern Warfare 2's record quarter. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 had the best opening quarter sell-through in series history.
First of
huge.
All, $7.53 billion.
Yeah. A lot of money.
You don't even need to say down from 8. Like, just so ridiculous.
That's not true. That's how stakeholder. I mean, that's how stockholders.
Oh, I get it. It's just still it's $7.
Yeah, they made $7 billion. But yeah, Call of Duty best quarter in series history. That's a lot considering it's Call of Duty. Yeah. Like that's not a little. That's a big number. Then good for them. Sony had an extremely impressive quarter. 7.1 million PS5 shipped over the holiday quarter, up 82% from last year. They have 46.5 million PlayStation Plus subscribers. It's slightly down. They have 112 million monthly active PlayStation Network users. PlayStation software units are slightly down, but revenue is up. Huge quarter for Sony. Making tons of money, shipping tons of consoles. People buying lots of consoles.
And I will say this. I'm seeing the consoles readily in the stores now all the time.
I've still never seen one in the store. I've never seen one actually physically in the store yet.
I've seen people reporting that, but I haven't went back to in-store shopping quite yet. I'm still like ordering my stuff, my groceries and stuff, like to be delivered. I'm still in that COVID mindset. I'm like, I'm not going over there.
I go to Costco and Target. That's really about it.
And I pick, even when I go, I pick stuff up in the parking lot. Like, I'm not going in anymore.
Yeah, Target is definitely drive up. I'm not going if I don't have to. For what? We'll leave that to Delvin. Delvin likes to go in the stores.
I do.
We'll put that on Delvin.
Like to walk around the store, look at stuff.
Yeah.
Look at
yeah. So my problem is, I moved out here in like what I would consider like this rural suburb of Atlanta. And when I moved out here, I had Walmart right across the street, and it was fairly empty. Very nice to go in and like roll around. And right around COVID, my Walmart exploded. I don't know what happened. I don't know if a bunch of people moved in or they closed a bunch down. You can barely get a parking spot in my Walmart anymore. And every time I think about going in there, I look at that parking lot and I go, oh, fuck that. That's just way too many people, man. This is way too many people here. And it's been like that for years. It's always busy, always. Sundays.
What happened?
I'll go during the week when I work from home. Thursday at 10 o'clock, packed. Slam full. I'm like, y'all have jobs? What are y'all doing?
I've never
You know what
not seen a Walmart parking lot packed.
Oof.
You got to go really early. But I know for a fact the Walmart that's by me, before COVID happened, it wasn't regularly busy. It wasn't too bad. But during COVID, since it was one of the
D-Life's
only
going
places
to hear
that
the
was
first
actually
part of the
open,
show, and he hasn't heard it yet.
don't worry, he'll hear it soon enough. But yeah, since Walmart was one of the only things open during COVID, that place was always crowded. Ever since then, it's just stayed crowded.
So it's just like shopping habits. Everybody moved
because
to Walmart.
Down here, they were like, "Oh, all these stores are gonna be closed except Walmart." So
It makes sense.
Walmart just had lines out the door because everybody.
That's a good theory.
Like, I want to stay
my
home.
Walmart is packed to the brim. I'm
I've
parking.
always been that way.
I'm parking
weird.
15, 20 cars deep in the parking lot. I mean, packed.
Yeah. I would love to see an empty wall. I've never in my life seen an empty Walmart.
Oof, no,
ever. And I didn't even know Walmart was a thing until I went to college and we had one in Northridge where I moved. And that parking lot was always full. The ones out here are always full. I can't stand Walmart personally. I only go there if I absolutely have to. I'm not a Walmart shopper.
My Target is always empty, and I like shopping there because it's empty, but they don't have quite the selection of stuff that I'm usually looking for.
Yeah, Walmart has a lot more.
Yeah,
Walmart definitely has more stuff, but they don't have nothing I'm looking for. So
sure,
everything I can get at Target. I'm bougie.
Apparently. Nintendo dropped financials. The Switch is at 122.5 million units sold. It is now officially outsold the PlayStation 4 and the Game Boy.
Is it going to catch the Wii?
No, it's outsold the Wii.
Oh, I thought the Wii was the highest sold console ever.
Is it? I don't know. I thought it did. I guess not. I was thinking the DS. It's behind the DS, and I don't think it's going to catch the DS. DS is at like 150 or 60 million or something. It's insane. Yeah, it's outsold the Wii. The Wii is officially 101 according to Digital Trends. It's behind the PS2 and the DS. That's it. The DS at 154 million and the PlayStation 2 at 155. And I don't think it's got a chance at reaching both of those, either one of those, unless they do something to extend its life by introducing a new revision. Outside of that, I don't think so.
More than likely, they're going to keep the Switch. Whatever they make the next Switch is still going to be considered part of the Switch, just like they did with the Lite.
Yeah, we don't know. We don't know. What we do know is there's not one coming this year. So we'll find out. But yeah, what a change in the wake of Nintendo to go from the Wii U to this thing. I mean, this thing has been a monstrous success.
Mm-hmm.
Good for them.
It's crazy that before this thing came out, people were like,
they should go away.
Be third party.
Yeah,
just go away.
I think of that often. Every time you see people make these like headline predictions and stuff, just remember that most of these people thought they should go Sega.
Yeah,
like a bunch of idiots.
Yeah.
And look, I'm sure we've all had opinions like that at some point, but like these are just know that
they'd go Sega personally.
Like that's the point. Like that's the the point I'm trying to make is nobody knows. You never know.
I think the best lesson to be learned from this is never count Nintendo out. Just
no, absolutely.
That'd be foolish.
Along with people, just don't count them out. Just know, like, hey, until they're actually dead in the ground, even then, you might want to check their pulse because they're gonna come back.
The Nintendo faithful will rise again.
Yeah.
It's because they firmly believe that software pushes their hardware. They design games around it to push it. So that changes things.
And they're right.
We've got word from the UK. The great CMA has published their findings on the proposed Microsoft acquisition of Activision, in which they've said this could result in higher prices, fewer choices, and less innovation for gamers in the United Kingdom. They said,
we already have that now.
Right.
Well, that's true. They postulated some remedies that they would be okay with to close this deal, which included if Microsoft sold Call of Duty.
Sold them to what?
To who?
or they sold the Activision segment of the deal. So, like what they're saying here, they're saying here is Microsoft can spend $69 billion to buy them as long as they sell off the Call of Duty franchise or the Activision pillar.
Who's buying that? Sell it to
Why would you buy them to sell
This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Or they could sell, listen to this, they could sell the Activision and the Blizzard segments. Then the deal would be okay.
So you're gonna let me buy it, just turn around and flip it?
Just king. They'll just keep
okay.
the
So
mobile
first
partner.
of all, UK,
they can
y'all
just
need
buy
to go
the
away.
mobile partner.
This is the dumbest.
It's really it's special.
The CMA is trolling, right? They're not real. It's not a real.
I love that
right?
they're like it'll result in higher prices and fewer choices. It's like, but Xbox over here with Game Pass, which is bringing like way more choices at much lower prices. It's the opposite of what they're doing.
What are they researching? Because
I don't know.
This doesn't make a lick of sense.
Well, okay. So research. According to their research, they have found that 24% of Call of Duty gamers on PlayStation would switch consoles if Xbox bought the franchise. If it was exclusive.
Exclusive. They've already said they're not making it exclusive.
Exactly. But here's the thing.
So what?
24%. Remember Sony said they couldn't compete?
Right.
Are we to understand that Sony can't compete if 24% leave? That's it? I actually read that number and I was like, that's it?
And that's only Call of Duty PlayStation gamers. Just the Call of Duty bros.
Yeah. Look, I keep reading this and putting these on the notes because this is very important to games overall. But as you can probably tell, I think all of us here are kind of over it at this point. I still think this deal is going to close. I think they're going to find whatever concessions needed to make this happen. Because here's the reason why Microsoft's just bending over backwards to make this happen. I think that'll continue to go. They're just going to be like, look, a lifetime agreement for Call of Duty or whatever they got to do to push it through. And I still think it doesn't matter because if it all comes to Game Pass, that's all that matters. They don't need to make it Call of Duty exclusive. There's no reason for that to happen.
Yeah.
Call of Duty day one on Game Pass is a coup. Just a juggernaut that Xbox needs in the worst way. In all actuality. If they can guarantee a brand new Call of Duty game hits Game Pass every 2 years, that's a big deal. That's really all that needs to happen. Speaking of Game Pass, Madden comes out tomorrow. So does SD Gundam Battle Alliance. I don't know what that is. Delvin, you know what that is?
Something I'm not playing.
Okay.
It's a Gundam game.
I like Gundam, like Gundam Wing. I was like, that's cool, but I don't know what SD Gundam Battle. I don't know what that is.
I saw it. It looks kind of mid.
Okay.
You love mid games, though.
That's true. You're
not like that.
You should change your Twitter handle to, like mid game lover, something like that. Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord, Cities Skyline Mastered. Now we're getting excited. Shadow Warrior 3 Definitive Edition drops on the 16th. That's pretty cool.
Okay.
And then Atomic Heart, day and date. Game Pass release February.
Can't wait to play that. 21st. That game looks awesome.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
The real question is, what are you gonna pick up and play instead of playing that game? Because that's gonna happen.
I'm playing Atomic Heart.
Okay. You're gonna start that. You're gonna put it down after 2 hours and play Little Devil Inside or some nonsense.
Little Devil Inside. What kind of game is that? I love how you should just put all of their game titles together and make one game to represent the whole.
What kind of porn parody game you got me playing?
The Devil Inside of Medan. New Twitter handle. The Devil Inside of Medan. I like it. I've got to try and get to Dead Space before Atomic Heart. Like that's the goal. Get to there first. And then leaving Game Pass is Crossfire X. Excuse me. Recompile, which I liked a lot. It's a pretty cool game. Skull, The Last Kids on Earth, and Besiege. So, yeah. D-Life says he's not going to play it on Game Pass because he's going to buy it on PS5.
Of course he is. Duh.
Just want to let you know this. Everything I said at the beginning of this podcast, I fucking meant.
Pre-show was pretty Yeah, that was a thing, D-Life. Today, we had our Nintendo Direct. And
you did?
We did. Yeah, that was the thing that happened.
Didn't happen. Didn't happen.
Kyle wants to know, what was your favorite moment from the Direct?
Still about you, Dev. I was hoping he would hit the wrong.
Dev, let me ask you this. Do you really not know a single thing that was announced today?
I only know two things. Okay. I know that Metroid Prime Remastered finally got released. I'm not gonna play that. I didn't play the
what?
I didn't play the originals.
Why won't you play this one?
I'm not playing anything on the Switch.
You love Metroid.
I love 2D Metroid.
Oh
I have no desire to play the 3D Metroid. I didn't even finish Metroid Dread. So what makes you think I'm gonna play this? And then I heard that Game Boy Advance games are coming to the expansion pass or whatnot.
Correct.
That's all I heard. That's all I know, and I don't care about either of those things.
Game Boy and Game Boy Advance, and Game Boy Color and Game Boy Pocket games are coming to Switch Online. Metroid Prime Remastered was announced in Shadow Drop is out now. I'm not playing it. I'm waiting for a physical copy. I want the box. But there were a lot of things. We saw Tears of the Kingdom got a trailer. But I was very excited. Power Pros was announced and released. Delvin, we were just talking about this. Was it last week? Post show, I was telling you how much I loved Power Pros and you should try it.
Yes, you did tell me about that.
Power Pros, man, a Japanese baseball game. They've been making it for Switch and PlayStation 4 in Japan for a few years now. It used to come over here. I played it on Wii, and I loved it on Wii, and I've always wanted to come back. And hidden in their little sizzle reel, we saw little baseball players. I was watching it right there with Steven. I was like, oh my God, is it Power Pros? And it came out. So Delvin, go to your Switch, look up Power Pros. It's 99 cents. It's $1. Like, I'm not telling you it's the greatest baseball game that's ever been had. It's completely worth $1. It's kind of like Hot Shots meets baseball. It's very fun. It's like it's almost like I think I told you this. It's like the Wii Sports baseball game if you made it like a whole game, like all the players and all the teams and everything.
What you showed me.
I loved it.
It's not licensed though for people who are wondering.
Yes, this doesn't have the Major League Baseball players in it like the one on the Wii did. You can create them. I'm not going to do that, but you can. You can create them if you want and create your own teams. But it's just fun. It's a fun, goofy, silly game, kind of like Super Mega Baseball, but it's $1. Like Super Mega Baseball is $40. This is $1. They're giving it over 99 cents. Yeah,
that's crazy. Is that a sale price?
I honestly thought it was a mistake when I bought it. That's why I wanted to buy. When we were on the live stream, I was trying like hell to buy it because I thought it was a mistake. I was like, "There's no way it's 99 cents. It's still there. It's still 99 cents." So yeah, go buy it. It's $1 just to try it. Just tell me if you like it. I like it a lot. I already played 3 games earlier. I played 3 games of Super Power Pro Baseball, and I mean, it is very nice. I am very much enjoying it. It's a lot of fun.
Is that game that I saw that you tweeted with the weird little looking characters?
Yes. Yeah, the Wii characters.
God.
Yeah. It's great.
Also, John 32, I have those Metroid games that are on GB. I still have them. I still have my Game Boy Advance. So if I wanted to play them, I would just play them on there. So.
Well, I do kind of feel you there. Obviously, let me go ahead and plug this down. We're going to go through this whole Direct in detail, full detail, and all the financials of Nintendo this week on the Nintendo Shack, our Nintendo podcast, #Shack Sundays. If you haven't listened to it, you may have missed the news that I have returned back to the Nintendo Shack. It was me all along, Austin. Me and Rebecca are holding down the Shack front, and I'm very much looking forward to breaking down this Direct with her. But just to back you up, Dev, I kind of feel the same way with you about all the Game Boy stuff. It's not my nostalgic thing because I didn't grow up playing the portables, but even if I did, most of those games I have on my 3DS. So I'm not gonna my Nintendo Switch Online expires tomorrow.
Oh, so does mine.
Yeah, it does. You're right. Jason's got a whole new family plan that he's doing, I think, him and Kevin. But I was able to get in the vouchers right before they expire. So So Nintendo's doing digital vouchers where you can buy them. They're $100, and you can use these vouchers to claim 2 games that you can pre-order. So, for example, today I used my 2 vouchers on Pikmin 4, which is $60, and Zelda, which got a price increase of $70. Nintendo's joining the $70 market. So
I thought you already got Zelda.
I haven't pre-ordered it. Nope. I had the eShop money set aside that I got from Fudo. So I used the leftover Fudo cash to get the vouchers. So I got Zelda and Pikmin. If I bought those for full price, that'd have been $130 plus tax. But because I got the voucher from Nintendo, I paid a smooth $100. So I saved $30.
So you buy a voucher for $100 and it lets you redeem 2 games.
For $100, you get 2 vouchers. You buy 2 at a time. So essentially, if you buy them digitally, Nintendo will let you give you games of $50 each, is what the deal is. So
interesting.
I got them in right before my stuff expires. Now I think because they're pre-orders, like they may not go through if I'm not a member. So I may have to I may just have to get a cheap individual membership just to let them come through. But yeah,
how much is the Nintendo Switch Online?
You can get 3 months at Target for like $6. Oh. So I'm not, I just, and it's not, I'm not saying anything. I'll go into this maybe on further detail and check, but I'm not saying the Switch Online isn't worth it or anything like that. I'm not trying to proclaim anything like that. I just noticed that I feel like the only reason I was subscribing is because we had a family plan. I don't use it a whole lot, so I didn't feel the need to keep subscribing. And if I want to, if they drop Diddy Kong Racing or something and I want to jump in, then I'll grab a 3-month code and play it for a little bit. But like, I don't play online. I'm not constantly playing these old games. I'm not playing the Mario Kart DLC. Like, it doesn't make a lot of sense for me to be subscribed to it, especially at the family tier, indefinitely. I don't think that makes a whole lot of sense.
Is it still $20 for the individual for a year, or is it more
for
now?
A year? Yeah,
$20. I might do that because my son plays some of the older stuff.
You may not get the expansion pass stuff for the 20. I think that's extra, but yeah, for 20 you can just do it for a year. Anyway, so tune in, Shack Sundays, as Rebecca and I break down all the news from today's Direct, which I'll just go ahead and say now because Sunday's a long time from now. This Direct is kind of hit or miss for me. It's like feast or famine. Like the things I liked, I really liked, and then there was a lot of shit I did not like. I was like, why are these here? So, yeah.
What about you, Delvin? Because you like Nintendo. How was the Direct for you?
I didn't watch it. My son just kept running in the room telling me the highlights of it. And I heard the Metro thing. I'm like, that's fucking awesome. Let me buy that right now.
Did you buy it digitally?
Metro Prime. Yes.
Dude, everybody went digital. Like it's like me and Steve are the only people.
There's a physical copy?
It comes out 2 weeks from now. You have to wait.
Why? Why?
That's what Nintendo's doing. So like everybody's just buying it now, which look, I'm not like, go, you do that. But like, I wanted the box. I wanted the cartridge.
I didn't even know that they were making a physical copy.
And it's only $40.
That's cool that they're doing that.
It's only $40. It's very nice. So, some quick hitters. The Fantastic Dev, who were making the day before, showed off 10 minutes of gameplay.
No,
that Dev and I watched.
Oh my god, it was so terrible.
That game was originally supposed to release in a month, and that game doesn't look like it would be ready for release for 2 years.
Dude, oh my god, it looks so early. It literally just everything I watched, I was like, this is just a Division. This is literally just the Division.
The Division with zombies.
Yeah.
It's like they took that Tom Clancy's, was it Ghost Break thing that you remember, the thing they did last year that like everybody for like the pandemic thing, and then they just mixed it with the Division. Yeah. And then they turned the NPCs down from like 100% to like 8%.
Right.
that game was barren.
But and it wasn't even like there was no developer commentary. It was literally just silent gameplay footage of you watching this chick run through and go do some inventory things and shoot at zombies that weren't moving or attacking.
And they do that weird thing that like I feel like it's like for me, I always think of like State of Decay, where you just like go to a cabinet and your character just kind of like rummages. Just has like an animation that doesn't do anything. And they're like, here's what's in this cupboard.
Just make noises.
Yeah, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, yeah, it's not good.
Yeah, loud
Does this
noise
game
and all
come
that
out?
yeah,
Does this ever see the
No.
light? Like, does this actually release?
Man, that's a good question.
Isn't it? I don't know.
I feel like
what
it's
do you
vaporware.
define as released?
Like it's
Release,
you can
playable.
purchase it. Yeah, like
Buy
you
it.
can purchase
Like
it
is
at
it
some
like
point.
is like because you know they have like early
They
release
sell a
games
product.
and-
They're like,
Okay,
here's
is it for sale?
yeah, the day before, $40, whatever they're gonna try to charge for this thing.
No, I don't think it's gonna get released.
I kind of agree with you.
Me
Right
either.
now, if I had to bet, I would bet against it.
Yep, same.
A report from Jeff Grubb. The coalition has moved on from smaller projects that Grubb previously reported on and is now completely focused on making Gear 6.
What were the smaller projects?
He said that
That's
they
what I'm
were
trying to-
working on
okay.
a couple smaller games, like maybe different non-Gears type things. And yeah, so apparently they had some sort of project in development, some smaller project. I was totally on
I wonder
board
if it's
with
gonna come out.
the coalition doing anything that's not Gears because I think they're a great developer, but that doesn't mean I want to wait longer for, like, you know, it's definitely do Gears first. Like, this actually doesn't surprise me at all considering everything that's going on with Halo. I
Yep, was just
100%
gonna say, it's the Halo effect.
I 100% could
They
see
said-
somebody coming and sitting down and being like, look, we want you to have this project, we just need you to put it on hold for a minute. We need Gears sooner than as soon as you can get it.
ASAP.
Yep.
Whatever you're making over there, fucking stop. Get your ass in there and make Gears.
We're gonna
This
let you
Halo shit ain't
finish
working
this
out.
one day, but we need Phoenix at the moment.
Not today. we're making a fun puzzle game. Fuck that.
Nope.
Nobody needs that puzzle game right now. What the gamers need is Gears. We need
That's
something,
true.
and
That's
this
what we
is
need
on
Gears.
you.
I hope
You're-
he's right, and I'm not. Everybody was mad. I'm not mad at you. Like, I'm not one bit am I gonna say don't do that, Xbox and Microsoft. There's more time. The coalition will have its day. We can
Yeah,
figure out what the coalition's grounded is another time.
Yeah, the coalition
Gears.
is the hero we deserve right now. All right,
Gears. Let's do Gears. So what you should do is release Gears, make all the money you can, then make your little project. You know, it's been a minute.
Yeah.
So Gears 6, baby. I'm gonna buy a new Lancer. I'm excited.
I can't wait.
I
love
mean,
Gears.
one day we'll play Hivebusters, so I can maybe get in on this excitement.
Dude, I gotta
Just
get
maybe
through
one day.
Dead Space. I gotta
No.
get through Atomic Heart. I
No.
gotta get through Kirby. It's so
No.
hard to find time.
No,
Got a lot of shit to play, man. I ain't gonna hold you. Just a lot of shit to play right
Yeah,
now.
there's a lot of stuff right now. Now's not the best time.
I wasn't even expecting to play Harry Potter. That shit's actually pretty decent. So like, fuck. Why couldn't he be a bad game? Oh my God. This is a good fucking deal. Now I have to play this shit.
should have bought a couple more.
Oh, it's funny.
If I see the guy again, which I probably will,
What's
I'll
up,
buy you a
Delvin?
copy, Dev.
Trench
Buy a
coat.
couple
Probably gonna
copies.
have those
You
same
can
goddamn
you can
copies.
slang one. You can slang one on the side too. You know what I'm saying?
Jedi
Make your money
Survivor.
back.
Okay, man, you got that Jedi game?
Yeah.
Give me a copy of Kirby. Score me a Kirby
We
copy.
have it. I'm gonna try to go this Saturday and see if he's out.
You should have got his number. A contact like that's valuable. You shouldn't have just
Yeah,
left him
no.
go to Earth. You just let him go.
The fuck B-Rob's in here. Look at the 3-hour show.
Yeah, he said your face is punchable. He's not wrong.
God damn. Motherfucker, fuck the B-Rob.
Yeah, man, give me that Kirby game.
Yeah.
I'll grab it.
A free hardcore mode has been added to Callisto Protocol. I don't think there's ever anything I've wanted less.
As
And
opposed to a paid
hardcore
hardcore mode.
It's just a hardcore mode. Like, that game isn't hard enough. They're like, for those of you that found this game
son.
too easy. What?
Yeah. I hate to break it to you guys. That wasn't a thing anybody fucking said.
Ugh.
Not at all.
I mean, I'm just amazed that it had to be like a free, like, isn't this normally how games work? Once you beat it, you kind of unlock the harder difficulties and a lot of things. Like,
Sure.
are we now paying for hardcore modes at some point?
No idea.
I feel like a game did that.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Oh my God. Let me pay
Um,
you to make things more difficult on me. I'm a masochist.
This is old news at this point, but last week after we published the show, The Last of Us's PC port was delayed several weeks and will now arrive after the finale of the TV show.
We didn't talk about that last week?
I don't think so. I think it came out the next day. Yeah. So, womp womp. I'm still pre-ordered. Can't wait to play. And then PSA episode 5 of The Last of Us on HBO will air Friday, not Sunday, as HBO gets out of the way of the Super Bowl. I don't even know who's in the Super Bowl. Who's in the Super Bowl?
The Eagles and the Chiefs. Two teams I don't care about.
Yeah.
The first time
they didn't have to move because I was going to watch that anyway. I'm watching the Super Bowl anyway. They could have left it right then. Maybe I'll just watch it on Sunday like I have been.
Yeah. I'm here for two black quarterbacks, but I don't really care to watch the Super Bowl this year at all.
Yeah.
My Niners, I mean, come on now.
In a while.
Yeah,
if my Niners aren't in it, I'm not paying attention. So
especially now, since you can the commercials, you can just they'll just show you the commercials on Twitter. Yeah. It's I don't have to watch this anymore.
John says Rihanna. She doing the halftime show, I guess.
I mean, I don't need to watch the Super Bowl to see the halftime show.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that either.
I can watch that on Twitter too. They'll just show me the best parts on Twitter. If something happens, Twitter will have it. Well, it's fucked up again.
I mean, YouTube.
There you go, YouTube.
Yeah. No over under from Rude Days this week. He says the CMA is trying to shut gold coin down, but we'll appeal and be back next week. Till then, scores so far, everyone is tied at 4. Everyone got points for Advance Wars and the Nintendo Direct, and Dev got a point for Hogwarts, coming in over 85.5. So we're all tied.
Ooh. We're all tied up.
Continues.
Mm-hmm.
Heating up, y'all.
Let's see here. I didn't have any buy or sells. No rumors this week. So that's it for the news.
Daniel, why would I need to be a Warriors fan? All right. I just like the red colors of the Niners, and that's why I picked that team. It has nothing to do with LA. I'm not even a Lakers fan because they're in LA. I just liked the color purple at the time. I could care less about the home team. I'm not a homer.
Teams like my wife does.
I did as a child.
Who has the best outfit?
Yeah,
that team looks cool. I'm gonna root for them, and that's just it.
I'm not gonna hate you. The Niners do have sweet unis. It's quick, nice threads.
Yeah. All right, time for some questions, and we don't have a lot, so we can spend some time getting into some shenanigans. So, Free to Play Joe says, "Will this be the greatest year of horror game releases ever?"
I prepped for this.
Are there a lot of them? There's Silent Hill. We've got Dead Space already.
I prepped for this. So Joe and I were having this conversation, which is why this question came. Because I think it might be. This year we've got Dead Space remake, Resident Evil 4 remake, Silent Hill 2 remake if it lands, which we expect it to. Alan Wake 2, if it lands.
That's horror?
Yeah. Stalker 2.
Yeah.
There's Outlast game. There's a Layer of Fear game. There's that game that you probably wouldn't know. Yeah, there's a new Outlast game coming. Slitterhead is coming to Game Pass and stuff. That looks really, really cool. The Texas Chainsaw game and Routine. Yeah, Slitterhead. Slitterhead's one of my
Texas Chainsaw thing. God, they just won't let that franchise die.
Yep. Yeah, it's gonna be made by the same people who made the Friday the 13th game, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that doesn't bode well.
So I went back and I just tried to grab a couple years. I don't have every year, of course. I was just trying to think of like the big ones, and the ones that I could come up with were, I think 99 maybe has the claim to fame. In 99, we got Silent Hill, Resident Evil 3, Dino Crisis, Parasite Eve 2, and System Shock.
Dino Crisis is considered horror?
Yeah.
Yeah, survival horror game.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. That just feels like action to me. It's
dinosaurs. Remember, this is the guy who said the game wasn't a rogue when the developers said it is. Like, it's how they marketed the game. They're like,
I never played Dino Crisis.
Our rogue game.
Never played Dino Crisis. I just thought it was dinosaurs. I had no idea it was a survival horror game.
We got Resident Evil and Clock Tower. In 2002, we got RE Remake, Eternal Darkness, and Clock Tower 3. It's not a bad year either. And then other years, I looked at the year, like Last of Us came out, and I looked in the year the PS4 launched, and I looked in other years. There are years where you get like a great game or two, but to be honest with you, this year it's kind of, if everything lands, this year might just brunt force its way in quantity. Like just sheer quantity. That is a lot of horror games if they all land, which makes me think maybe half of them won't.
Let me ask a silly question. What do you consider the BioShock franchise?
I think it started as horror. Yeah, those are horror games. Yeah.
Really?
But 3 is not horror.
Yeah, 3 is not. Infinite's not. But
nothing
1 and 2,
about BioShock, the original, made me feel like it was horror at all. Interesting.
Oh, you were literally in an asylum of crazy people that are bashing each other's brains out with crude pieces of metal.
Just
if that's not horror, what is
it? Just a first-person adventure game to me. I didn't even, because it wasn't scary. Like, nothing about it made me scared. So I was like, this doesn't feel like horror.
Creepy little girl dolls and shit and giant machine eating.
I never, ever. I never associated it with horror.
Blood spattered all over the walls and everything. It was like, no, not a horror game.
I didn't associate it with horror to me at all.
Yeah.
When I think horror, I pretty much think like it's got to be like Resident Evil. It's got to be zombies, or it's got to be like a fucking Silent Hill, because it's just ugh.
Well, and Dino Crisis is like those games.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I've never played Dino Crisis.
Oh, okay. Dino Crisis is, it was Shinji Mikami. He made Resident Evil and he made Dino Crisis.
Yeah, I never played. I had no idea.
Resident Evil with dinosaurs.
That's all it is.
And see, that sounds silly as shit to me. It doesn't sound scary.
It is kind of silly, but it's awesome. The original Dino Crisis was great.
Yeah. Outlast, that's horror. That's some creepy, weird shit.
Sure.
But I would have never thought about BioShock as a horror game. Interesting.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can make, like, it definitely has an adventure and it's first person shooter and stuff like that. But yeah, like thematically, would it fit in a horror genre? I think so. Yeah.
You know, it's a horror game I really liked. Condemned.
Yeah. No, I love Condemned. That's a great
really
game.
Good one.
Mm-hmm.
I wish they bring
Never
that
played
back.
it.
Xbox should bring that back.
Condemned and Manhunt. You ever play Manhunt?
Yeah, Manhunt.
I did play Manhunt. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Manhunt is like Manhunt is. Yeah.
I didn't play it for very long. I think I still have Manhunt. I think that was one of the games I'm gonna keep because it just looks fucking weird as shit.
I mean,
I still have the
I
original.
really loved
PS2
it
one
at the time because it went for it, like in a way that a lot of horror games don't. Like Manhunt goes for it.
Yeah, see, I wouldn't have thought of that as horror either when I was playing it.
What?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, okay. You no longer get to weigh in on genres.
Oh, I'm fine with that. I'm totally fine with that. To me, it's people. It didn't make me think about horror. Yeah.
What?
Didn't make me think horror.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. I think I wouldn't, but I actually think you can make a really strong case that like the first Gears is very horror genre kind of paralleled. There's a lot of horror elements. There's a lot of horror elements in Gears.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's that first major death of that character. Yeah, that's kind of horror.
Especially like all the plasma and stuff, and yeah, there's a lot in there, and like they kind of got away from it, but then sometimes they go back to it. Like I actually like the darker elements of Gears. I wish they would go back to more of a horror-esque style, at least, because I think that's when Gears is at its best. So I appreciate when it does, but yeah, there's some parallels there. I wouldn't classify as a horror game, but there's some parallels there. Yeah, I remember also like the theme of horror spans across the genre, right? So you can have different games that are not in the quote unquote horror video game genre that are still thematically horror.
Okay.
Yeah. I think there's elements of the first reboot Tomb Raider game that's kind of like horror.
Sort of, yeah.
What?
Yeah.
The death scenes and stuff are really gruesome. And
plus,
that's what is determined horror because it's gruesome.
No,
like
got all of that, like the
supernatural stuff.
No, I was thinking of like all of the skulls and the bones and all of that shit. Yeah, there's like a lot of green hell.
So is Indiana Jones horror? Because there's a lot of skulls and bones in that.
No, it's more or less how they're used because you see people like
How's you?
Have you seen
it's
Indiana
used
Jones and the
like
Temple of Doom?
sacrificed and stuff like that.
Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
No, I haven't seen it.
Indiana Jones Temple of Doom came off more cheesy than horse.
I don't like Indiana
terrifying.
Jones.
It's the same.
That kind of the first reboot Tomb Raider game had some really creepy elements to it, like the whole.
Yeah, he's just saying there's elements of it. He's not saying
elements,
that it
not
is.
necessarily horror, but there's elements of it there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like some of her death animations, like ugh.
Yeah.
Some of the elements of them trying to chase
that was
her
like
and
a whole
stalk her.
thing, right? Last of Us did
Yeah,
it.
that was
like,
a big deal.
and then, yeah, like me and Tomb Raider was doing it and stuff. That was a thing.
They were like, "You want to see her die? We finna show you every minute of it."
It's pretty good.
And there's one where she like gasped for breath and stuff like that. Like, ooh.
You should look up Slitterhead. I think it looks, honestly, of all the things on here, not named Resident Evil 4 Remake, just because that's a very special game and I can't wait to play it. Slitterhead might be the thing I'm looking most forward to. Here's the thing, though. I think Stalker 2 might be the best out of the bunch. Every time I see Stalker 2, it looks incredible. I'm just like, I am all for whatever that game, what that game is showing me is right down my alley. Like, I am all for that game.
I might need to look more into that one.
Yeah, Stalker 2 looks amazing. But Slitterhead has that old school horror vibe. Like, Slitterhead looks like shit.
I would have just thought of Stalker 2 as just like a thriller. Like, I wouldn't have thought of it as horror. And I think that's what I think with like BioShock. Same thing. Like, it just doesn't trigger horror to me. But
so what we've learned is Dev just doesn't believe horror exists. It's just not a thing.
I do, but it just sits in like a very certain
zombies.
It's not zombies, Jason, Freddy, or Silent Hill. It is not horror.
Basically, that's where my horror bucket sits. I just didn't think the other stuff was horror. But I'm also not big on horror at all. So
Dev watches Blair Witch Project. He's like, it's not a horror movie. It's not a scary movie. It's just a walking sim. It's just people.
Blair Witch scared the shit out of me.
Did not like
Blair Witch scared the shit out of me. Yeah, absolutely did.
Terrible.
Yeah. But you guys like horror. You guys are into the horror genre.
I could care less about movie that I would give to like 7-year-olds that say they want to watch a horror movie. I'd be like, start here. This is a really good one to start with. Dev's like, it scared the bejesus.
It sure in the hell did. Like that found footage type stuff. It just scared the bejesus out of me when it first came out. I was like, oh my God.
I love found footage horror. It is one of my favorites. I'll watch anything that's found footage. I'll watch it. I've watched anything that has ever claimed to be found footage. I'll watch.
Yeah, I typically won't watch any of that stuff. I don't.
I love horror. Paranormal Activities. I know all about all of it. Just give it to me, all of it.
Paranormal Activity is creepy as fuck. That's some creepy shit.
Watch The Visit, Tev.
No, I'm not gonna watch any. I don't like horror. I don't like horror. I don't want to watch any of that.
You don't like it because you don't know what it is.
Here's the thing. I could see Dev watching The Visit and he'd be like, it's not a horror movie. You know, he'd be like, I don't consider M. Night Shyamalan to be a horror director.
Those are horror movies?
Say the same thing about Signs. This is a horror movie.
Signs a horror?
Which one you watch?
Signs is absolutely a horror movie.
Yes, it's a horror
Really? I would consider it just sci-fi.
Kill people.
To me, that's just sci-fi. I didn't think of it as horror at all.
See? Well, you think Alien is not a horror movie then?
I exactly. I would not have categorized that as a horror movie.
Aliens is literally a horror film.
It's like the platform of horror. It's at the base.
Really?
Yes.
One of the most influential horror movies of
Aliens
all time.
in space, to me, sci-fi.
What about Jaws?
Sci-fi.
Yeah,
fuck Jaws. Fuck Jaws.
You're correct. I agree. Fuck Jaws.
But what do you think of it as a movie? Wrong. How dare you?
Jaws is stupid.
Put some respect on it.
It's so stupid. It's such a stupid movie.
Thank you, Dev. Thank you.
It's so stupid. Sorry, it's dumb movie.
I love it.
I forgot to ask y'all the question I wanted to ask y'all earlier.
Oh,
It's
we got time.
My mind. Fuck it. We're here now. So, said I wasn't going to talk about the concert, but I will talk about before the concert. So I go to Longhorn Steakhouse with this person.
Ooh,
Longhorn
nice.
Steakhouse.
Did you get the mushrooms?
The who?
No, I didn't. This is my
Always
first time being there.
amateur mistake. Always get the mushrooms for the appetizer. It's so good.
Ugh, fungus.
They never told me about this. So I ordered my steak. I ordered it medium rare.
Mm-hmm.
The looks I got because I ordered a medium rare steak was insulting.
From who?
Really?
Everyone.
Everyone in the store,
What?
everyone in the restaurant just looked at you weird.
Yes, I'll tell you what happened. So the woman I was with ordered her steak. She ordered it well done. I was like, ugh,
Oh,
what the hell's wrong
That's
with
the
you?
look.
why would you do that?
Here's
Yes.
the thing, Dev.
Let me
Delvin,
add
Delvin,
this
Delvin,
caveat.
listen to me. You should have ended the date at that moment.
You know what?
I would have stood
crossed
up.
my mind.
I would have politely put my silverware down. I would have put my napkin down. I would have thrown $40 on the table. I would have thrown those tickets on the table. And I would have said, I hope you and Boys the Men and your cheap ass steak have a good life together. And I would have walked out like a boss. How dare you? Well done? Absolutely not.
No.
Let me add this caveat to it.
Well done?
Maybe this is a cultural thing. Everyone in the restaurant was black. Like everyone. The waitress, now there was one white person in the whole restaurant.
Mark.
So when the woman ordered,
Mark was rocking with us.
so when my date ordered her steak, well done.
Date?
They say nothing. Yeah, whatever. Like, when she ordered her steak,
Little
well
Hank
done,
Hill there, no.
The waitress didn't shrug, and I'm like, she's like, yeah, sure. When I ordered mine medium rare, she was like, are you sure? Like, yes. My dad, like, you're gonna eat it like that?
Apparently, black folks just burn beef. I guess.
Like, that's
I don't know.
eat a steak.
Apparently, I can't speak on these Florida people. I don't know anybody who does that.
It became a thing in the restaurant because there was a party right next to us.
If they
Who was having a
overcooked
birthday
my
party.
steak, I'd send it back. And I don't think I ever send anything back, but that's a no-no.
Yeah, that's a bad look. There was a party in front of us, and when I said it, they asked me, "Are you gonna eat your steak like that?" I'm like, "Yes, that's how you're supposed to eat steak."
Wow.
But it's not cooked. You're gonna see red, and it became an issue.
Now, see, I will say, when I was younger and did not know, I'd order a steak well done because I had no idea. I didn't know.
When I hear well done steak, I think of children.
Yes.
Like that's what children eat.
That's what it is. And then you come to find out, no, this is so much better when it's even at the medium well at the most. At the most.
Yeah.
Most medium well, not well done. That's okay. I have a parallel here. I have no idea if this works or not, but the secretary of my work, who's also black, used to hate when I would cook eggs because I cook my eggs sunny side up. And she was like, you can't eat the yolk.
What?
Who does that? She's like, that's so gross. You got to cook your egg. She thought the eggs weren't fully cooked when I had them sunny side up. Like to her, the eggs weren't in the South. Finished. Yeah, to her, the eggs weren't finished. They hadn't done cooking yet. And the only reason that sticks with me is I'd never heard anybody explain, like I've never heard anybody associate like a sunny side up egg with being like medium, like not cooked. I mean, she's technically right, but not like that's not a thing. Like everybody eats eggs sunny. That's not new.
Like you see that in everything. Sunny side up eggs is like a regular thing you see everywhere.
Like, that's what you see when you look at the menu at IHOP. Like sunny, somebody just shows you, scrambled eggs. Everybody sunny side up eggs.
Right.
I think a lot of people down in the South eat scrambled eggs. I think that's what's the reason.
Yeah, she was like, "You're not going to scramble that or anything." And then when I ate the yolk, because I love the yolk, I love the yolk on my biscuit and stuff. When I ate the yolk, she was disgusted. She was like, "I can't believe you're doing this."
Oh,
my dad was disgusted when I ate my steak. I'm like,
that makes me want a burger with the sunny side up egg on it, the fried egg with the sunny side up on the burger.
And the egg. I love a big egg and cheese biscuit. But with the sunny side up egg, and then the yolk breaks, and you get the yolk and the bacon and the cheese, like that's how it's done.
On a King's Hawaiian bun, so you get a little bit of that sweetness too.
Than a scrambled egg. 1,000 times better than scrambled egg.
I kind of agree.
Just like medium rare is a bajillion times, but like well done is just not like I have not eaten. Like when my wife overcooks the steak, then I'm like, no, we're going out. Like I'd just rather not eat than eat that steak.
Medium.
It's so hard.
Well done. Oh my god, it's just chewy.
Dry.
You're just chewing dry meat. Nobody wants
Grinding
that.
your teeth down. It's ugh.
So did you watch her eat her meal in disgust, Delvin, as you should have?
You should have made her pay for it. I'd have been like, I'm not paying for that shit.
I'll put it to you this way.
You did that to that steak. That's on you.
Way before she was finished with hers.
You know, you should have had them itemize out the bill. You'd be like, look, I'll cover the sides and your drink, but I ain't paying for that heresy you put on that plate.
Horrible.
God
horrible
damn it,
steak.
Bobby.
And this is the funny thing about it. She ordered hers well done, right? Then she asked for A1 sauce and ketchup. Like,
damn. You're putting ketchup on steak?
Ketchup?
None of that
Where
shit.
did you find this monster?
If it's
Under a
made
bridge
right, you're not
somewhere?
putting no sauce on it, period. What?
Oh, I don't hate sauce.
I don't hate it either, but you don't need
hate
it.
it.
It's like a
I'm
little
okay with
extra.
steak sauce. Or soy sauce or Worcestershire sauce. Like I'm okay with that.
I mean, look, here's the thing. If she's eating a well done steak, she's gonna need all the sauce you can get.
That's true.
Everything.
You need something. Here's the thing. She cooked all the moisture out. Now she's trying to put the moisture back in. I like a good sauce. I'm with you. I like seasoning my steak so it's good on its own, but then I kind of like having like both. Like I'll eat a piece with sauce, I'll eat a piece without it. You know, I like the variety.
Yeah. That's a little extra, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
not for every bite, but
yeah, just
throw it up.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Wow.
That story alone tells you how my night went.
Yeah.
No wonder you look so damn mad in your photo.
Right.
That would all make sense. I'd be pissed.
Just madness.
Yeah.
Mint sauce, that's for pork chops, sir. That's for pork chops. You put the mint on the pork chops, D-Life.
I don't
what's
like
mint sauce?
I don't do
I've never
mint
heard of
flavored.
sauce.
Never had mint? Yeah, so with pork chops, a lot of times you end up or lamb chops, you end up having mint. Like that's a little mint sauce. It's something that I've seen a lot.
I don't do.
It's not bad.
I don't do mint anything. Mint chocolate, mint ice cream. It's not my thing.
Interesting. To stay on the topic of food, Chaffee wants to know beef ribs or pork ribs, sauce or dry rub, and I say yes. Period.
That's a good answer.
I agree. Yes.
Sure, good answer.
All of great.
Beef ribs sauced, but I'm a Carolina barbecue sauce fan over the traditional American barbecue sauce.
Yes, Carolina ribs. So
I really like doing a Carolina sauce mixed with a little buffalo sauce, or maybe a little Tabasco or something. Just a little heat. Put a little heat on it too. Add a little heat to the mixture, and it's pretty nice.
I'm gonna
use some cayenne for that.
That work? Yeah, just a little heat makes the Carolina sauce go a long way. Because I like that vinegary taste, but still I miss that little spicy, afterburner. So just give it a little heat.
What are you about to say, Delvin?
I don't want to say it. It's not the way people take it, but goddamn, this sounds horrible. I like the taste of just the meat, like the fresh meat, man. It just tastes really good.
Damn. Kyle, I hope you're here. Oh God, man, I hope you're here, Kyle. Please.
Oh, my man just said he likes fresh meat.
Just the meat.
Oh,
I got bourbon. I got bourbon in my keyboard. Give me Delvin.
Just a well-seasoned meat.
You could have easily just said, "I like the unseasoned rib." You could have said that. But what you said was, "I like some unseasoned fresh meat." Just give me some fresh meat.
Just the meat.
Yeah, that didn't come out right.
Here's your new drop.
Oh yeah, I'm clipping that. That's gonna be a soundbite.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll eat the ribs by themselves too, unseasoned. Oh man, If it's cooked well, yes.
I probably won't.
Yeah.
I do prefer sauce on my rib more than
I do too. But as I'm making them, sometimes you may get some to fall off. You eat as you go.
Yeah, I'll do that.
I will say this.
Yeah.
I don't know if people know this. Florida has some good barbecue, like really good barbecue.
I mean, they're making well done steaks for everybody. I don't know if I can trust it.
No. That's just people who just.
I mean, there's enough people traveled through the Florida from the South that I understand that would probably work out.
If you see like a truck selling like ribs and stuff in Miami, stop. It's pretty good, and they're gonna give you a lot for a good price.
Yeah, we've got trucks like that around here too. The South prides themselves on their barbecue. They take that shit serious. There's a whole East-West thing, Carolina versus, like Mississippi, Louisiana, Texas side. Everybody's got their own spin on it, but it's a real thing.
And now I'm hungry.
We're all winners, right?
Yes.
Like, we're all winners. Like, all of it's good. I think it's hilarious when people have a preference. Like, oh, I only like this kind of barbecue. But it's like, I like it all. It's all good.
You can. Yeah.
St. Louis style, KC.
I prefer that vinegary taste, especially when it comes to pork. Like, I like that. I think that just goes well together for me. And that's my jam.
I agree.
I want it all. Kyle says, we already asked that. Your favorite moment for the Nintendo Direct.
I'll just say this. The thing that won me over the most was Pikmin. I thought Pikmin
so that was announced?
My son's hyped for that.
Yeah, Pikmin looked great.
So Kevin's finally out of the doghouse with his wife because the game is finally coming out?
Yep, comes up this July.
That's great.
Geek to Me says, if you could give any Nintendo game the PlayStation Sony treatment, what game would it be?
So I replied to this and nobody responded to me. Did you guys see that?
I did see your reply.
I didn't see the reply.
I was just like,
my response was the sad dad treatment, where some sad dad walks around for a while. Like, is that the treatment we're giving to a Nintendo property? Like, what is the
how many sad dad games are there? There's Last of Us and there's God of War.
What are we talking about? What's the PlayStation?
That is the question. Like, is it like the Ratchet and Clank thing? Is it a Ghost of Tsushima thing? Is it the sad dad thing? Like, is it Horizon? Like, what is the PlayStation treatment?
Horizon is just giving a Sony game the Breath of the Wild treatment. So,
is that what that is?
Yeah.
I didn't think that at all.
I would assume it's.
But hold on, Horizon. They came out at the same time. Shut up, Donnie.
God, why are you listening to Donnie? You see how I just ignored that shit? You just gonna go right into
Horizon Forbidden West totally just riffing off Breath of the Wild. Like, they were like, man, they really did this better than us, and we need a glider and all kinds of this shit too.
God, I need a mute button. Son of a bitch.
Facts.
So what is the Sony treatment?
I like both. I don't know what the Sony treatment is.
So let's rephrase it. What game would you want to make like a Sony game that's on Nintendo?
What does that mean?
Metroid.
So pick a game that's on Nintendo
Metroid.
that's also on that has something similar on Sony that you'd want to make it like. So like say, let me think, because I don't know enough Nintendo games.
When I think
like Metroid,
I don't want to make Metroid like anything other than Metroid.
Well, that's my answer. Metroid.
I was going to say, I think a lot of people would look at God of War and be like, look what God of War did for that franchise. Or they like reboot it and redid a thing. And then my answer was going to be to you, Nintendo already did that. They did that a long time ago when they made Metroid Prime. It's like they did that first. They took this old franchise and revitalized it by making it in a new way.
And that was kind of my idea. Like, hey, a PS5 version of Metroid with kind of a robust storytelling aspect to it. Because that's what Sony games are known for. They're known for their vast stories and
emotional, mature storylines. Is what I would usually say. That's why I went to the sad dad thing.
Yeah, so that's what I would think. My Metroid game would be that. An emotional storyline, great graphics.
We're going to add really long canoe sections to Metroid Mario.
There you go. Yes. Talking to somebody on a canoe for an hour.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's the best part of the game.
I don't know, because
He really is.
I mean, I think I'm not. I mean, maybe I'm not a really good one to answer this. I mean, there's a reason I've been out on the PlayStation for a while now, is I feel like they're making less of the games from them that I like. So I don't want them to take any of their things they're doing currently and apply them to Nintendo games. I don't want that to happen.
I don't care about Nintendo games, so I can't think of a game that I'd even want to turn into the Sony style stuff at all. Nintendo can stay doing what it's doing.
You're terrible at this.
Bayonetta.
Yeah. What about Bayonetta? Bayonetta can
I could see
do what to it.
It's a more story-rich, emotional game.
Yeah, looks like a current gen game. You know.
So can we turn Bayonetta into Ghost of Tsushima?
If you want.
Sure.
Well,
I'm okay with that.
Bayonetta
is
so
a Nintendo property. Like it kind of is, but it's not. I mean, it's a Platinum property. It's not a Nintendo game.
It's Platinum, but
Nintendo doesn't make it. They don't own Platinum, and Nintendo doesn't make it.
Yeah.
So when I think Nintendo
only
game, I think a property that Nintendo owns, or property specifically property that Nintendo makes.
See, that's the problem. Dev doesn't like those properties.
I was about to say I'd take a Zelda, but more like a God of War, where it's more adult themed. My
Twilight
weapons
Princess.
don't fucking break. Okay,
Twilight
and it
Princess.
looks awesome. Okay,
Twilight Princess.
I mean, sure.
So you want Link
You
talking?
just
Then?
described. You just described Twilight Princess.
I would like Link to talk. Sure, that'd be great.
I thought he might have today in the trailer. Everybody started talking a lot, and I was like, "Oh shit, are they gonna make Link talk?" And then they didn't. Like it was all kind of building. The music. I was like, "Oh shit, is he about to say something?" And then they just moved right past.
Yeah, I want adult theme linked. I want people to die. I want bloods. I want head rolling. I want all of that. That's what I want from Zelda. I want Zelda to grow the hell up.
I want them to make Animal Crossing in the style of the game that Dev is describing.
Isn't that just your favorite game?
Cult of Lamb.
If you don't have
That's
bells,
just Cult of Lamb. That's just Cult of Lamb. You already got that game.
You don't have bells to pay Tom Nook. He just takes a finger.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Straight up.
Cult of Lamb.
I would like all right. So I'm going to take the question somewhat seriously. The problem is that Nintendo really only has one franchise that you could do it with, and I don't want them to use it. But the thing that PlayStation does very well internally, that this sells well to customers, is they make third-person action adventure games.
Mm-hmm.
And Nintendo has a franchise for that, and it's Zelda.
Yep.
And I don't want them to do that to Zelda. But I wouldn't mind if they had another franchise to do that with. You know?
Yeah, I'd like it if like Ninja Gaiden was actually a Nintendo franchise, and I could turn that into Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah, like I don't want Bayonetta to turn into that either, though. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not a really good.
Yeah, you're right. I can't think of any, like, you can't turn Mario into Ratchet and Clank. I mean, that's already just 3D Mario.
I would like to take some of the Astrobot stuff and maybe throw it to a Mario way. But I don't even really know what that means. I just really liked Astrobot. It just was really good.
Pokemon?
Like a hyper-realistic Pokemon game. Yeah. Like third-person action-adventure Pokemon game.
Isn't it just Pokemon Go?
That was just real life.
Okay.
Time to do that.
A lot of people had time to do that, apparently.
They did.
Yeah. Only thing I can think of is Zelda, violent and adult. That's really it. That's all I can think of.
I got nothing. Astral Chain, but I mean, I like the way Astral Chain is. I don't want them to change it. Splatoon, but like Sony doesn't do a whole lot with shooters anyway.
It's going to be a real shooter. Just real people shooting at each other.
Okay. How about Kid Icarus? That's a Nintendo franchise.
That could be third person. Like that'd be
cool.
I would love a Kid Icarus like third person action adventure type game.
Like the Ubisoft game.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What is that game?
What is that game called?
I was gonna say Gods and Monsters. I think that was the original title.
That was the original.
That was the original name.
I don't know if they call it after
Phoenix Rising, something like that.
Rising.
something like that.
Yeah, but that with Icarus would be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Could Star Fox be applied to something like in a Sony way?
Ratchet and Clank, maybe.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I like Star Fox a lot.
Yep, they tried doing that on GameCube too. It was a huge failure. They had Star Fox get out of the ship and everything, and everybody hated it.
Here you go, Donnie. We're gonna turn
Adventures.
Yeah, we're gonna turn F-Zero into Gran Turismo.
I think we should turn Gran Turismo into F-Zero. I think that's what we need. I got nothing. Who does Nintendo own 1080 snowboarding? I didn't think
I have
so.
no idea. But what would you do with that, even if they owned it?
I was going to say I want a really sad dad 1080 snowboard. So here's the thing: like the dad has a son who's going out to be the best, and he breaks his leg, and he loses. It's like a Karate Kid thing. It's real emotional, Just God of War, but 1080 snowboarding.
I like it.
I can't.
You got a snowboard like Uncharted where you just climb. It's just snowboarding, and then you got to get out and shoot everybody. At the end, you shoot like 50 people. You get to the bottom of the hill and you shoot 500 people in armor and everything, and then you get a cutscene.
And there's no consequences for it. None. Police not looking for you or nothing.
Nothing.
you just killed a small country, sir.
There's an HBO show that comes out.
The snowboard killings.
There's a gay couple
coming soon to HBO.
Whole thing.
Do the whole thing. Go for it.
So the opposite way is I really miss Little Big Planet karting, and I would like Little Big Planet to get the Mario Kart treatment.
Well, I want Little Big Planet period on a Nintendo console. Just give me Little Big Planet.
Just buy Little Big Planet.
Little Big Planet's dope.
That'd be great.
Yeah, it's dope. It seemed like it would fit Nintendo better.
I mean, I think that was the point behind them making it. And I don't know, like hopefully Media Molecule will come back to it or somebody else to do it, Sackboy was great.
Feels like a game. Yeah, it feels like something that if it was on Nintendo console, it'd be really popular. Like you could add Mario skins and stuff like that to it, and just go.
Well, they kind of did that. They did it with Mario Maker, and it wasn't very popular. But it's kind of the same thing. I actually think Mario Maker does the community creation stuff a lot better than Little Big Planet did.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah,
Little Big Planet's an excellent game.
Moving
I
on.
I wouldn't mind a third-person action adventure game set in the Fire Emblem universe. I'd be down for that.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah. And I kind of have that because we have Fire Emblem Warriors. We had a couple of those, and I liked them. But like a full-blown third-person action adventure game would be cool.
Never played it. Can we take like I was gonna say Final Fantasy, but that's not a Nintendo franchise or a Sony franchise, so it doesn't matter. I'm done with this. I'm done with this.
Not yet. They're gonna get
moving on. I agree with Smoke and Joe. Midtacular as fuck.
Y'all are missing out.
I ain't missing out on shit. That's me. That's me as Will Ferrell in the chair, just like nope. Nah, I'm good.
You probably think Little Big Planet's a horror game.
It might be. Actually, yes, that is horror to me. You make me play that game, it's horror. No, thank you.
Wow.
Ryan says, what do you think about all the service games closing down recently?
Good.
Yeah. So long.
I was going to say that. I don't like them. So this is kind of just the market kind of correcting itself. They're like, we don't want this.
Well, it's not that we don't want it. And so we have it and we do want it. The market wants it. Just can't have them.
This one.
Everybody can't do it.
Yeah.
You can't have a million of them. So the problem is for them to exist, they have to take players from Fortnite or Apex or one of Destiny. The problem is you got to be better than one of those to get players to leave. So you keep releasing these soccer, Rocket League, shooting clone spin-off things, Hyperscape or Scrape or whatever Ubisoft's version of it was. And nobody plays them and they get shut down. And that just is like, it's sad, I know people are, jobs depend on it and stuff like that, but like you gotta like I said, we were talking about the future of the industry, right? And its sustainability. You got to start making games for specific targeted audiences and not just slap an E on it for everybody. Get back to making games that are meant to target customers. Make a game for them to buy and enjoy instead of just hoping you can get everybody to come buy a skin in your game. You can only do so much of that. And I honestly, I just feel like, I don't want to say it's a fad, but it feels like that. It's like a trend. We've gone through these. Yeah, like they rise and they fall. Guitar Hero was once the most popular game in the world, and now they couldn't even sell it if they wanted to. So, I don't mean to discredit Fortnite in any way. It's huge. It's one of the biggest, juggernauts in the industry, but everybody can't be that. There's just one of those.
Yeah.
And that's the problem.
And even with trends, the cream will rise to the top. There's always going to be one that's going to be the outlier. And Fortnite's the outlier. This is the one that's going to
The problem with the service games is that they want you to play all the time. Like that's been my thing with them, is they just think you're just going to play this game forever. That's just not how gamers work. Even if you're one of those players that only plays a handful of games a year, you will eventually want to play something else. And that's the problem. Like, where do they go from there?
To be fair, there was an audience that did that. It was the World of Warcraft people who just played that all the time.
Yeah, that's the one. And every game that came out in that genre wasn't as good as WoW, so they all died. Except for Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy is like the only one that is still around.
And WoW constantly like delivered brand new expansions and stuff to like build that. They were constantly changing the game. It's not like a battle royale like service-based thing. Like their game has changed drastically.
Every like 2 years there'd be like some large major expansion with a bunch of shit to do.
Yeah. WoW is more like Destiny.
Apparently Fortnite's like that.
Fortnite and stuff.
Who is?
What did you say?
I said apparently Fortnite's like that.
It's not like that. Fortnite has like an event where they'll do like a cutscene and stuff, but no, it's not like WoW is more like Destiny. Like a gigantic expansion, all this is
Destiny
brand new.
Is more like WoW.
Well, yeah.
That's where they got the model
more
from.
like those. Fortnite's not like those. It's different.
Fortnite just resets the world. So after the season, the world just kind of resets and you get a new map, basically.
It has a narrative, but it's not, to call it an expansion would be incorrect.
Yeah, it's not an expansion. It's just, it's the game stays the same. There's a bunch of new skins. And the reality is Fortnite just struck gold. Like it just struck gold. People like it and it stuck around and people continue to play it. And you keep getting a new world and new skins and maybe a new mechanic with some weapon or something like that. But everything can't be Fortnite. Fortnite and Apex is way more competitive. So you've got the competitive battle royale there. You've got your Call of Duty war zones. You've got your Fortnite. But then like the niche audience for like a Rumbleverse is so small. What are you doing to keep those players invested? Like, that's just like one of those, it's here for a minute and then it's gone. It's not going to be something that's going to stick around. Yeah. It's just too niche.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's a trend that's gone. It's here. It'll be around. And
I saw people that are upset. They're like, what are we supposed to do about these games? And they turn the servers off and we can't play them anymore. It's like,
you can't play them anymore. That's how it works.
That's how it works. I really don't like, there's like a I don't know, a thought that permeates gaming that like every video game has like the right to be preserved indefinitely. And I don't necessarily really know where that comes from, but like not all games are meant to be kept forever, like in your closet or on your shelf. like that's, you can't do live service games that way.
Yeah.
Like that's the whole point. The game is played. It's a multiplayer driven game. It's played on servers.
It costs money. Gotta keep that up. And if there's nobody playing the game,
I'm sure those costs
to go off
are minimal. Right. I'm sure like a lot of these companies could just leave a server on forever. But that's the point. I think a bigger point is that I just don't think every game has like, I don't think there's like a right for every game to be preserved. And if you feel like you should, then you definitely shouldn't play games like that. And you know, like if you're like, I don't, well, then like you shouldn't worry about it. But I saw a lot of that going around, like that tweet last week that I think Garrett shared. There was a lot of people like that, like these games will just be lost forever. And it's like, yeah, there's lots of games that have been lost forever.
Mm-hmm.
Act like everything on NES was like saved forever. It wasn't.
There's so many games where the source code is just gone.
Yeah, like that's just it's how it works. It's software. Like it,
Yeah.
you know,
If
you
you hear
move
some of
on.
the stories about those video games, they're like, we lost everything with the game. We couldn't make it if we tried. We don't have anything to make the game with. Like this
Mhm.
stuff, people like.
You move on.
Yep.
Same thing we have with movies, by the way, too.
Oh
A lot of old
yeah.
movies that have that same problem.
Yep, you've got
So-
cuts
Never
that are
kept
just
the film.
lost forever.
Yep. So Universal had that large fire. Like right before I started working for NBC Universal, they had a large fire where they lost a lot of old archive stuff. There was a fire in their vault that just got rid of a lot of stuff. And so they had to start making digital copies of everything and backing them up into multiple places. But with video games, like a lot of times that stuff is gone. It's just gone. There's just no getting it. And trying to keep a server running forever, like that also takes maintenance and development. Like nobody's doing that. Some games are just meant to die.
I'm okay with
And
it.
that's okay. That's okay.
I have a hard time coming to grips with the folks that think that's like some injustice.
Yeah.
You know, I just don't value them like that. Sometimes
Same.
I do. I do think really great games that stand out, I think should be kept or preserved or remade and, you know, brought to new, like always kept current. You know, that's why I love remasters. That's why I stand up for them a lot.
Yeah.
But that should only be held for like really standout games.
And even with that, like
everything.
those are single player games that you can play offline. The ones that are online, it's a lot harder to just keep doing that.
It's like, have you opened the PS4 store or the PS5 store? Do you really think every one of those games should be kept around? Like we say these sorts of things thinking, I feel like we say these things or tweet these things with the idea that there's only like 200 games. There are thousands of games on the eShop. You know, do you really think like that indie studio release of Golf on Switch that's downright terrible should be kept around forever? Like, no.
Does I Am Mayo deserve to be around forever? Right. I don't think it does. No.
We could go in Thanos, you know, half of these eShops, and honestly, I doubt people would even notice.
Yeah.
Pet the raccoon. That feeling deserves to stay around forever. All those dumb Pet the skunk games and stuff like that. Nah.
Sometimes I think people take that side of the argument, just way too far literal sometimes, you know?
Yeah. All right. Moving on. Smokin' Joe says, way too early predictions for what game wins Game of the Year this year. Tears of the Kingdom. Tears of the Kingdom is going to win.
Probably Tears of the Kingdom.
I was going to say that maybe they wouldn't give it to it because of all the stuff it got the first time, but then I remembered that Keighley gave God of War like every award last year, so maybe they would.
Yeah.
It's probably
an easy early vote.
It's an easy favorite. Like that's got to be the betting favorite, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to live in a world where Street Fighter is so good it can't be denied.
Do they ever give fighting games Game of the Year award?
No, and that's why I want to.
I want to say that.
That's why I'm saying it.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Like that's not a thing. Like
Street Fighter looks incredible. Street Fighter looks amazing,
and it probably plays incredible too.
You know, like I want it. Like if it comes out and everybody's like, "This is the best fighting game that's ever been made," I want to live in a world where the best fighting game that's ever been made is worthy of Game of the Year.
You would think that, but probably ain't gonna happen.
Just like if somebody comes out and like, this is the greatest 2K game that's ever been made, I would love for it to be considered, but we know it's not. I'm just bringing it up.
Yep.
But that's the problem because games like that don't get recognized for how great they are at Game Awards because
it's the niche audience of them. That's the thing. Like everybody's
going
to be talking about Elden Ring or Tears of the Kingdom. Yeah. Starfield. Yeah. Nobody's going to be talking about Redfall or Street Fighter.
I hope Redfall's that good. That'd be amazing.
I do too.
Yeah.
Starfield's supposed to be. What they showed originally didn't look like it to me, but we'll see.
What they showed originally might as well have been the day before.
What about Spider-Man?
I think it will get best action game of the year, something like that.
Yeah. I don't think it beats Zelda.
It won't get. Yeah.
I don't think it beats.
I would
If Zelda's good, I don't think it'll beat a good Zelda. Unfortunately.
Any indie games that come to mind? Anything like out of left field?
I don't know what's coming out, so I can't answer that.
What about Hades 2?
That's a good question. People really loved that game.
Do people love Hades?
I don't get it personally, but
Assassin's Creed. I will never get it.
I think that Zelda pull is just too strong for people.
I feel the same way.
Game reviewers.
I also feel like Zelda might be like the only franchise that Nintendo has a really good chance of putting on that stage.
Yeah.
I don't know if I ever expect Game of the Year to go to a Mario game.
Yeah, and
they'll give it Best Family Game.
I mean, yeah. I think
Nintendo
Spider-Man
gets like
2. Go ahead.
1 or 2 shots a decade at this thing.
Yeah.
They really do.
And 2 of them are Zelda.
If Armored Core?
No. Not even close.
No.
Ooh, Final Fantasy?
If it comes out, it has a chance. I was going to say Final Fantasy, Star Wars Jedi might be in the conversation.
Diablo?
Yeah.
Diablo will probably be in the conversation. Spider-Man 2 will be in the conversation.
It's going to be a great year for games.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, this year is pretty loaded.
I'd love to live in a world where Replace wins Game of the Year.
Ooh. On the indie lineup.
Mm-hmm.
Or, like, the biggest reason I hate the Game Awards, my favorite indie game for like the last 5 years wasn't included. They never include my favorite indie game. They include Call to the Lamb. They include Ori. I don't think they include Katana Zero. Like, whatever Donnie finds. And I think I have a really good taste on great indie games, but apparently whatever game I fall in love with is just doesn't even make the ballot.
Not Game of the Year worthy.
Stunned that Call to the Lamb wasn't even included. Ori is incredible. Like, one of the best published Xbox games in decades. They're like, nah.
What won that year?
I don't remember, but yeah, it wasn't even included. I was so mad.
Yeah.
That's when I stopped. That's why I don't do the Game Awards. That's if you're ever wondering, like, why is Donnie hate the game? That's why. Because I find it very hard to even take their lists seriously sometimes.
Feels like it has to be Jack's version of good games.
Yeah, exactly. That's a big marketing. Lots of YouTubers aren't talking about it. It is not considered. Say Game of the Year is it's Fashion Police Squad.
The last time a game shocked me for Game of the Year was when Walking Dead won it. Walking Dead.
That was the one.
That shocked the shit out of me.
I wasn't that shocked at that time because I feel like at that time that was one of the most impactful games I'd ever played. Like, it was such a standout from not just the industry at the time, but everything I played till then. That I
hadn't played it.
And I also don't
played it at all. But
I
it
also
was not the
didn't think
AAA big marketing game.
I didn't have the cynicism of that at that time either. The Game Awards are still so new. I didn't expect that they had like requirements to fill like we do now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I don't think The Wolf Among Us could win Game of the Year.
No.
But like back then, you know, back then, I was thinking about this the other day. Like, we've come so far in video games in such a short period of time. Not even just like from 8-bit to now, like literally from like 2006 to today. You know, like if you just think about the world in 2006 and where you were with no social media and barely having phones and barely having internet and all that, like games, it wasn't that long, you know, like we started to get The Walking Dead and The Last of Us, and like we've come so far since then. Leaps and bounds. It's almost unrecognizable, that game industry. I mean, we're talking about Journey and Flower, like Gears 2, GTA 4. Like, it's such a different landscape. So different.
Yeah, very much so.
Service cams weren't even a thing.
No.
And we were whining about horse armor. I remember when people just didn't even want to have a digital game. Digital games? What is this bullshit? I gotta download it.
What was it?
Right?
People were super mad, man.
About? That every game used to come with the little pass inside of it. Online pass, I think it was.
Yeah, the online passes. Oh my god. Yeah. That way they were trying to combat used games. If you bought it used, you couldn't play it online. You had to pass, you had to buy the pass. Oh my god. Oh man. I was looking at the nominees for Game of the Year when Walking Dead won. It was Assassin's Creed 3, Dishonored, Journey, Mass Effect 3, and The Walking Dead.
I'm surprised Mass Effect did win. But I guess everybody
hated that ending.
People did hate that ending.
But yeah, a game like Dishonored or Journey now would never get nominated. They would never be in the conversation for Game of the Year.
Yeah, you're right. And that's such a shame. Journey is such a rewarding experience. The Journey remaster is incredible.
My sister loved that game.
Yeah, it's really good. Very special. Game of the Year, I'm calling it Dead Island 2.
Oof.
There you go.
I need that game to suck. I need it to be a 62.
It's probably spot on, and I'll probably buy it and love it.
Yeah.
Like, this game is fucking awesome.
Oh, yeah. I think it's going to be really fun. I just needed to score terribly because I counterpicked it on accident.
Like me a good 6.
I would love it to be a good 6.
What about Hogwarts? Is that Game of the Year worthy?
Hell no. It's too much controversy.
Did it review like super well or something?
It has reviewed really well.
It has. It's like 87 or something like that.
Hang on. I should just have looked at that. Highest.
It's
Metacritic.
Oh, Dead Space.
Remake.
It might be in the conversation.
Is it like 90% on Metacritic and stuff like that?
I feel like
89.
remake is never going to be considered for Game of the Year.
What is Hogwarts or Dead Space?
Dead Space is an 89.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, Hogwarts is 89.
On Metacritic?
Yeah.
I see 86.
I'm looking at it right now.
So am I.
Oh, I'm looking at it. Oh, no, this is everything list. Hogwarts Legacy, 89.
Y'all got
86?
different Metacritics?
Bizarre.
I know, right? That's weird. That's hella
Well, I
weird.
think they
Black
list
Metacritic
games.
and
They
a white
list games
Metacritic?
multiple times. PlayStation 5 is an 86. Xbox is an 89.
That's so stupid.
They listed multiple times in different platforms.
Oh my god! Just give that.
That was, for a second, that was a little weird. I was like,
So then, that's special. That's dumb. Yeah. But yeah, I don't think that's mentioned in the Game of the Year conversation. I think there's just way too much controversy around it. And they're probably not going to want to even deal with that.
Or they do the controversy and they get more attention.
Does that seem like Jeff Keighley? Doesn't seem like Jeff Keighley's bad.
No. I think Jedi might have a real shot.
I do too.
Yeah.
People really loved the first one, and if they expand on that, it could be a big hit.
Yeah. I 100% agree. I still don't think it beats Zelda if Zelda's good.
No, Zelda's gonna win.
I just feel like Zelda's bar is so high. Like, I can't imagine that this game comes out and like exceeds it. There's no idea how that's possible.
I don't think it even has to.
People think it's one of the greatest games of all time. You know, so like if that's where you're coming into it, then like you're almost bound to be somewhat disappointed.
I mean, if it's more of the same with some new cool mechanics, I think that is automatically that's enough. Because that's the thing. Yeah, you gotta remember, it's Nintendo people also, because Nintendo people just love Nintendo games. So unless it's really bad, there's no way it doesn't live up to being an awesome Zelda game. Yeah.
If it was bad, they wouldn't release it.
Yeah.
Or raise the price on it $10.
No, I could, like it could be like a Majora thing. It could be different, and people don't like that.
Yeah.
But no, I think
I think it's more likely.
I agree with you. They're pretty confident in it.
Oh, this is pretty different than the other game.
Do you think that we see more $70 Switch games?
I'm sorry?
Do you think we see more $70 Switch games?
Yeah.
Or is this the only one?
No, I think we will. I think they're using this one to break down that wall. But here's the thing: it'll be interesting to see what games they push there, because I don't think
that's the question.
I don't think you can sell a $70 Kirby game.
No.
So that's the thing. But I think you can sell a $70 brand new Mario game or a $70 Mario Kart game. So like for that, like a brand new Animal Crossing game, could they sell it? I think so. But I think they'd have a really hard time selling a $70 Kirby game or a $70 Pikmin game. So yeah, I think that's going to be weird for Nintendo because unlike PlayStation, they're just going to be like everything $70.
Mm-hmm.
Like everything we make is $70. I don't think Nintendo's going to have that luxury. Because if you thought people that thought The Last of Us remaster wasn't worth $70, you wait till they put a $70 price tag on Kirby game. People are going to lose their shit.
And then we'll see that it's still sold ridiculous.
But so funny though, because it's literally just $10 more.
Yeah.
Like if you don't think Kirby's worth $70, then I can't imagine you think it's worth $60. And I actually think there's a lot of Nintendo fans that don't think a Kirby game is worth $60.
I was just gonna say that.
But here's the thing. I think they could totally sell Pokemon for $70. I think they can, and they will. And here's the thing.
Yeah.
The last Pokemon game was broken, and it sold 20 million copies in 6 weeks.
People loved it.
20 million. And the damn thing, like, was it worth $70? Hell no.
It was almost like the jank made it better. Like, people were more interested because it was janky.
Would it hurt its sales if they raised it? No. Not at all.
Nah.
They can absolutely sell another, broken ass Pokemon game for $70.
Hell, $80.
Why not? I mean, because here's the thing: a lot of people buy 2 copies anyway,
mm-hmm.
so they're already paying more. So like that's the thing. And I'm sure there will be people, and we'll talk about this in Shaq, but I'm sure there will be people that are mad that Breath of the Wild is 70. I'm not, because like I think when Breath of the Wild first came out, I was like, it's worth way more than 60. Like if you're valuing the game, Breath of the Wild, I would have paid $100 to play Breath of the Wild. It was so good, easily.
Pay me $100 to play that game.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just the reality. I'm not happy about it. Just like I wasn't happy when Xbox is. Like I'm not happy with PlayStation. I don't like it because I think we're being fed. This is where this has always come from.
The narrative that it costs more to make them, and they're not
being fed lies. They're saying they have to do it. They don't. They make all the money, tons of money, so many billions of dollars. Like we're being fed lies to justify this. But I just think it's inevitable and it's the reality of things. And I have already become more picky and choosy on what I buy day one. And I will continue to be. I'm not going to buy everything at $70. I will wait for sales and discounts and things where I can. I will pre-order, and it's probably a big reason why I have migrated more and more of my game time to PC.
Yep.
I can get 5 games for the cost of 2 retail PlayStation 5 games. So if Nintendo is going to keep doing that, I will have to find harder and harder to pick and choose when I'm playing. But at the same time, they raised Zelda, but they also released Metroid Prime Remaster for $40, and they totally could have sold it for $60 or $70. I have no doubt in my mind if they were like Metroid Prime Remaster $70, people would be playing it and streaming it today.
Yeah,
absolutely, they would be. They may whine about it; they're still going to buy it.
I will say this: that $40 price tag made me buy it immediately.
Oh, that's such a good price. Oh, they don't mark down.
That's what it is.
The joke that I was making is Nintendo for a while now. They've been doing these sales like Black Friday, lunar events,
$7 to $10.
No. What their thing is, I believe it's 35%. That's their big sale price for all first party games, and that gets their games down to I think like $44.
44. Yeah.
Yeah, and like that's the thing. So, like they're selling like on when you get a sale on a game like 1-2 Switch or ARMS or last year's Kirby game, they're selling like their sale price, their low end offer on those games are $44. And then here comes Metroid Prime Remastered, and they're like, here's it for $40. That's a steal. I think that's why so many people are buying it digitally. Everybody's just like, I bet there's people out there like, I'll just get both. I'll just buy it digitally so I can play now, and I'll buy a box copy.
When my son first told me that, I'm thinking he said, "Oh, it's just the original game that's selling for $40." That's some shit Nintendo. That's some shit Nintendo would do.
Well, they sold the trilogy on Wii U for $20. You got all 3 on Wii U for $20.
That's because they were trying to put anything out on Wii U they could to get somebody to buy it.
And it was, I mean, it was the Wii version of the game. You still had to play with the Wii Wiimote and all that. But yeah, that's the first time you get to play with
remastered. Like what?
I wrote a couple people that were playing because I'm waiting on playing. Jeff, notably, since we're just hanging out, I'll read this to you. I asked him, I was like, how does it feel to play? How does it look like? And Justin replied, this is probably the best looking Switch game I've ever played. And then let's see here. Somebody else wrote me. He says, I just started it. I just got to Chozo Ruins. This is from Aaron. He says, and it kind of looks amazing? ? He said, maybe not quite the top tier Switch game. He's like, but this is pretty close to the best visuals I've seen on the system. Controls are great.
Wow.
I felt like the game might be too easy with modern controls, but here we are. He's like, it's playing fine.
That's awesome.
Good for them.
High praise from early impressions of Metroid. Metroid Prime is like, I mean, not that I consider myself the biggest Metroid Prime or Metroid fan just in general, but Metroid Prime is like my Metroid game. I didn't grow up playing Metroid games. I played Metroid, Super Metroid at a friend's house. I remember that. Mm-hmm. We beat the game together, but he was playing and I was just kind of assisting. And I would maybe play a little bit, but I wasn't doing the whole thing. So I didn't play any of the Game Boy ones, or I never had my own copies of Metroid, like until Metroid Prime. Metroid Prime was when I got in on Metroid. And it's the one that I prefer because I think Metroid would be better as a first-person shooter. I think it appeals to more people. I think it's an easier title to sell.
Blasphemy.
It's an easier title than Metroid doesn't sell.
I don't care.
People like shooters, though. And it's perfect. It's perfectly suited for it. And Metroid Prime proved it. And I loved it when it came out on Wii. And I owned all of those games. And I bought the trilogy. And I bought it on Wii U. And so I'm very, very excited for this. But I've got Dead Space, I've got other games to play, and I want a box. That box is dope. I want a physical cartridge. So I'll give it a couple weeks. But I feel it. I'm feeling the FOMO. I'm missing out on not being there with everybody else.
If I thought my son would play it, I'd buy the physical copy. But I don't think he'll play it, so I'm not buying it.
Jack hates Metroid. I think Jack hates all Metroid-like games. Like Ori was way too like. Jack wants to run forward and like bash, he like any sort of like strategic thought. Like he really struggled with Breath of the Wild. He played Breath of the Wild for years before he did finish it. I give him mad props, but for years, I think it took him 4 or 5 years to beat Breath of the Wild. He was not he's not into that style of game. He likes shooting games, sports games. He's more linear type of player.
AAA. Big marketing,
big real games.
Real games.
Not
real
games. Not Metroid. Real games.
All right. Last question comes from the young Delvin Jr. He says, what's an ending in a game that disappointed you greatly? He said, Bayonetta 3's ending was mine, and it was so bad, it almost ruined the rest of the game for me.
Mad props for reaching the end. I haven't seen the ending yet. Story, I can't imagine an ending of Bayonetta. Like the story is so off the freaking walls. Like how bad could this? It's already nonsensical. How could an ending ruin it? But I'll see when I get there. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a game that I beat that I didn't like the ending.
I didn't like the Shadow of the Tomb Raider ending. I thought that was stupid.
I don't even remember the ending.
You climb like the Mayan pyramid, and you've got like a grave and the whole thing. And I was like, this is stupid.
Now, are we talking about like just the game, like how you end, like the final boss? Or are we talking about like the ending of the game, like the cutscene or whatnot?
Well, yeah, I'm thinking of the final act, but yeah, there was a little cutscene after that. But
yeah, I'm thinking about just like the cutscene after
the
resolution.
I didn't like the ending of Uncharted 2.
What
the hell happened?
I know it's like all paranormal and stuff. I don't necessarily know enough that I could tell you, but I know that I played through them all when the Uncharted Drake collection came out.
Mm-hmm.
And, everybody loves Uncharted 2. Everybody's been listening to Greg Miller talk about it for years. And I've always said that I think Uncharted just get better as they go. My favorite is 4, then 3, then 2, then 1. But 2, a big reason why I don't love it, I feel like as much as anybody else, or the reason I like 3 and 4 better, was the ending. I didn't like the ending. That's
What
my
was
last
the
ending.
ending?
Is that the one
I'd have to look it up.
where you're
Because I remember you
to shoot
fight
the
the
guy
dude, the paranormal
in
stuff
the
with the blue
room?
goo.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I don't, but see,
That's what I'm
when I
thinking.
think of the ending, I'm not thinking of like the final boss fight. I think of like how the game was resolved, whatever the cutscene is. Like that
It's
is
like the
more what I'm
cutscene.
thinking of when I think of the ending, not like the final fight.
Oh,
Because
this
the
is the
final
horror.
fight in a lot of games suck.
This is the horror thing all
You
over
know
again.
what? I got an answer. Far Cry 6.
Yeah. I didn't like the ending of Far Cry 6 either.
Yeah, that was lackluster.
Yeah,
It just
you did
yeah,
all this
that
stuff to get there, and then it just kind of ends like, fuck was
all right,
that?
I'm watching the Uncharted ending. You fight the dude with the blue goo and all that stuff, and that's
Mhm.
specifically what I'm talking about.
Mhm.
And then him and here we got Sully. They're just like walking down the Tibetan village. I'm not listening to it. Like overlooking the mountains, and then it goes to credits.
Yeah, I feel like that's how all the Uncharted games end. It's just like, all right, adventure over, right?
I think 4's was way
Outside of 4 was like resolution, like
better. And
true
Elena, they're
resolution.
walking down, and they just like look
Didn't-
off, and that's it.
Didn't
Yeah, I don't like
see?
it. I like
get
it.
her.
But I'm factoring in like your last moments of gameplay, like the ending. That's the ending of the game, and that boss sucked. That was stupid.
I didn't bother.
But
me that
yeah,
much.
Far Cry 6. Yeah, I didn't like the ending of that. I was
Yeah.
not.
Yeah,
A
that
fan.
was.
Yeah, that it felt so anticlimactic,
game.
and I think I love the game too. But the ending was
Yeah,
so
I like the game.
anticlimactic because they wanted you to go back and keep playing and like continuing to like
Fight for Yara.
fight for Yara. I'm like, that just
You go
Yeah.
through all of that to
Yeah.
climb that tower and everything to have that last moment with.
and Yara
With
still
help.
isn't liberated.
So dumb.
They're like,
It's
nah,
just not very-
you got more to do.
Yeah,
Nah.
Yeah.
I can't
I'm
think
a-
of anything else where I just really did not like
Worst
the ending.
Video game endings.
This Mass Effect
We're
3 is
talking
going to
about
be number
boss
one.
Oh, is it
Yeah. No. People hate that ending.
the worst?
I
Video
mean,
game
they had to
endings
recall it.
ranked. This is ranked. The official ranked worst endings in video games. Oh, this one has one on here that I don't mind, but I've heard before. The number one is The Lion King on Super Nintendo, which I
Oh, stop it.
Who the fuck remembers that?
let's see here. I'm scrolling to find one that we can actually talk about that I think the one on here that I know is Fable 3. And a lot of people hate the ending for Fable 3, and I loved it. That's a big thing. Neither when you played it, but the ending of Fable 3 is like almost like an economy builder. Essentially, you become the king, which is what you're fighting for the whole time through the game. But along the way, you've made like campaign promises to these territories and stuff. But at the end of the game, when you become the king, they basically you're let known, hey, there's like this evil force coming, this army, and they're going to destroy and kill everybody if you don't build an army to fight it. So you have like this end game of like trying to raise a treasury, a certain amount of money. And then basically what it does is it pits you against these people that you've made all these promises to, where you're like one of them was like, we're going to get all the kids out of the sweatshops in the factory district. And at the end of the game, it's like, well, you can do that. But if you do that, we're going to lose this much money. So then you have to choose, do you want to honor your promise to your friend that you've made along the way of the game? Or do you want to try to get the good ending and, save everybody at the end by beating off this thing? And then basically there's like a whole in-game loop to that. I thought it was cool at the time and gave you a lot of agency and challenge your decisions. And like Fable is all about good versus evil. I thought it fit in, but yeah, Fable players hate that apparently. That's been a big thing. People hated that in Fable 3. They have Far Cry 5 on here, and I thought Far Cry 5's ending was awesome.
I did too. That's a great ending.
Yeah.
Never seen it.
The atomic bomb goes off. Well, if you get the right ending.
That was a great ending.
It was.
Both endings are actually really good.
Yeah, it was. I liked it a lot.
I like both endings. Both endings are pretty good in that game.
Yeah, I don't like this list. This list is dumb.
But the first ending is
They've got Gears of War on here.
recommend
Like,
which
none of
one.
this makes any sense. These aren't.
the words ending good.
This is not a good list.
What's your favorite ending in a video game?
There's so many.
Red Dead. Yeah, Red
The
Dead
Last of
Redemption.
Us. You know what? Mass Effect 2.
Okay. I don't remember that one.
And the bad ending.
I didn't play it, so I don't know.
The good ending is awesome because you get this whole scene where they're fighting the I can't think they're called the Reapers. They're fighting and they're escaping. They're surviving the suicide mission. And you see everybody working together as a team. The bad ending is fucking awesome because as you're playing through it, you watch each one of your team members die.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then you get to then you get to this final moment where it's just Shepard by himself fighting all the Geth and all this stuff by himself, and Joker tries to come rescue him, and then like Joker's there with the ship, and Commander Shepard tries to get to the ship and he fucking misses, and then Joker ends up going back to the Starfleet by himself. Like, we did what we had to do, but everybody's fucking dead. And you see he talking to the elusive man. He's like, well, that's fucked up. This is a really dark ending.
That's awesome.
And they're like preparing for more war without Commander Shepard. Like, this is fucking awesome. This is a pretty awesome, badass ending.
So if you get that ending, how do you start off Mass Effect 3?
You don't. That's not a canon ending. You have to play it. You have to. That's just the ending. That ends your save. You have to at least have somebody, enough people survive for you to get to start off Mass Effect 3. But yeah.
Boo. I think my favorite ending in a game is BioShock Infinite. Fucking crazy shit.
That's a great one too. That's a great one.
Yeah, man. God, I love BioShock Infinite. Such a good game.
You know what?
I didn't like. I was scrolling and I saw Grand Theft Auto 5, which I didn't enjoy the endings for. All of them.
I never finished that game. It's so long.
It is. You have a
There's only
choice.
so much Trevor I can take.
You have a choice of who you can kill at the end, based on the direction you want to take. And there's another choice where everybody just rides off into the sunset together, kind of. And I feel like none of them, outside of one of them, one or two of them, I feel like I could understand. But like the good ending where they all just go off, I don't feel like really fits. Like it doesn't fit the journey that they're on or the world. Like I was like, this sucks. I kind of feel like they should, personally, I kind of feel like they should all die at the end. Like the whole game just gives me like Scorsese, Tarantino vibes, like with their, like, especially like some of the evil things, especially Trevor and Michael in particular are always doing. Like, I feel like the way to end their story correctly is for them to kind of meet their maker, but that's what I was going for. I was expecting to go out in a blaze of glory, and they do not. But I killed Michael.
Can I be Franklin and just kill them both? That's how I really want it to end.
You can't. But yeah. I felt like at the very least, by killing Michael, he is kind of the source of everyone's problems.
Oh yeah, he's the worst of them all for sure.
Yeah, he's the worst of them. So I thought that was the best way of like if it was a movie, I feel like that's how it would end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well.
What was that, Dylan?
Before you get to the epilogue. Red Dead 2 before you get to the epilogue.
Is it a bad ending or a good
one? It's a really good ending.
Better than Red Dead? The whole game?
Like,
Jesus.
Red Dead Redemption is probably my favorite ending ever.
That's a great ending too.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's why I was so excited for Red Dead 2. I was so excited for Red Dead 2. Like all year. And then I played it for 10 hours. I was like, this ain't it.
I like it. But
10 hours was just the first part of the game.
It's
very slow.
So slow.
Not just slow like in pacing. It's like everything is slow.
Yeah, it's like
the animations are slow. The commands are slow. Like the game just feels like it has built-in. I remember joking about on the Stadia show. It feels like it has built-in latency. I was like, Red Dead Redemption 2 is a great choice for cloud streaming because you won't know if you have latency on the controller or not. That's just how the game is. You won't be able to tell the difference.
He said, we are going to take you all the way back to the Western times in every aspect.
The amount of times I would press a button and wait for something to happen. It's just like, I can't win this fucking game, man. I can't. And I hate that because I love Red Dead Redemption. I hope they remaster that game. Hopefully they do it better than the company, the developer they gave the GTA remasters to. But I would love to play Red Dead Redemption Remastered. I would be so excited. What are you looking at, Delva? What do you think?
I thought they remade or did a remaster of Red Dead, the original one.
I beat Red Dead Redemption not too long ago on Xbox, which has Xbox enhancements for the game.
That's what I was thinking of.
And they are excellent. It gets really super sharp and it's really fast. It's a great way to experience the game. One of the only ways to experience the game, I don't think, without modding, like without, doing crimes. It's not on PlayStation. Right? Can you play Red Dead on PlayStation? No, it's not. And it's not on Nintendo. It's not on Steam. Can't play it on PC. But Xbox has the backwards compatible version. And if your old disc still works, you can just pop that in and play it.
I think I still have my old PS3 copy.
The X enhancements are pretty excellent. And I went through, I didn't play Red Dead. I played Undead Nightmare. When Elaine and I were on Xbox, on Empire, I did Undead Nightmare. I should go back and play Red Dead sometime. Because
you got too many games to play coming up, Donnie. We can't be going back.
There's a few games I want to go back to, and I have not had the time. But yeah, one day I will. Red Dead on Switch would be dope. They should just do that. Like instead of we got LA Noire. That still pisses me off. I'm so damn mad. I'm so mad that somebody at Rockstar was like, you know what we should put on Switch? I want to kick that dude in the balls. What an
hopefully he gets laid off, right?
I would have rather them put table tennis on Switch. Like of all the things, you're like, we're gonna put a game on Switch. We're gonna take advantage of this Switch user base. They were like LA Noire. That's the one.
They had to find a way to sell more copies of that game because it was so poor.
God, talk about bad endings. Just how about bad games? I hate LA Noire. I fucking hate that game. All right, I'm going to ask you, that is the worst game. Like when it comes to mine, what is the most disappointed you've ever been? Like, I don't know, buyer's remorse.
Breath of the Wild.
I'm not even give me a real answer.
I'm not even really. I honestly can't think of anything recently.
I was so upset. I have almost unanimously loved everything that I've ever played from Rockstar. Like every time their logo is on something, I am interested in it. It makes some of my favorite games: Grand Theft Auto, Max Payne, Red Dead. Like I love these games, and they released LA Noire, and I was so in. I was like, oh, it's going to be like Mafia. I love Mafia. This is great. That game was fucking trash, and I don't care if you like it. Trash. I was so upset. I have never rushed back to the store to return something so fast. I played the game for like 5 hours. I was like, did somebody else make this? Like, did they farm it out to something? Like, this is awful. Ugh, I hate that game.
I mean, Johnny, I only played Gym, so I don't have an answer for you.
Yeah, for somebody who doesn't care about review scores, he sure pays a lot of attention to them.
I don't look at the review scores before deciding on a game that I want to play.
You just know what are gems.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm gifted. I don't look at the review scores before I buy a game. I pre-order the game that I want to play. I typically end up liking the games that I buy.
Okay. Well, you don't buy that many.
I have a cheap answer.
Exactly.
You've got to have a game that you brought home. Everybody does. Everybody has a game that they
won't accept the game that I said that I really was disappointed by. I was very excited for Breath of the Wild.
I'm not.
It's fine.
Does not compute. Foul. 2 foul.
That's fine. I was very excited. Didn't do it.
Mine is a specific game on a specific console.
Gotham Knights.
WWE 2K when it came to Switch.
Oh, yeah, that was some trash.
I was so hyped to have a portable WWE game on the fucking Switch. I was
so bad.
Ecstatic. And that shit ran at 6 frames a minute Like, what the
Oh.
fuck happened?
A minute.
I was
Not
so
a second,
mad.
but a minute.
I was.
He's
it
not lying.
ran so bad.
It's like
it was horrible.
It's like they just slowed. It's like they slowed the game down 50%. Like they just took the game they had, and they're like, "All right, let's slow the whole thing down 50%." Like the video, cutscenes were slowed 50%. Like everything was just half speed.
Wow.
I was so mad, and I think I remember telling Donnie I was so hyped to play. I can play it on my PS4.
Oh yeah, I remember us doing tweets, and I was like, "I don't know, man."
Super hyped.
I remember they announced it. They didn't show any gameplay. I didn't talk about it, and I was like real concerned. I was like, I don't know, Delvin, this doesn't look good, and it was real bad. That game is just bad though. Like that one didn't let you down. It's just a bad game. Like you were let down. It wasn't good, but like it's just a bad game. I mean, like a game. Like I feel like people feel that way about Mass Effect 3. Like people that hate Mass Effect 3, like they were let down. You know, they bought it a game. Like by all accounts, LA Noire is fine. It runs great. It does what it's trying to do. Just what it does sucks. Like whoever came up with that idea should be fired. Like that was not it.
You know what? Then, if we're going on a game that I was disappointed in, that I was really hyped for, I guess it would be Arkham Knight.
Wow. That one went through some review troubles. I remember when that came out. So a lot of people didn't like that one.
I bought the collector's edition of it and everything.
Yeah.
And I was hyped for it. And then they was like, to get true ending, you have to do all this shit. Like, oh, fuck off.
I got one.
Collect all the Riddler trophies, all that shit. Like, nah.
Since Danny won't accept Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, I'm not.
The original Watch Dogs.
Ooh.
Oh, that's a good one.
That was going to be my launch game with the PS4. I was so excited for that game. It
got
delayed, and it came out, and it was just so fucking bland.
I hated the original Watch Dogs.
It is.
It was so bland.
I have one specific complaint, is I've always hated driving in Watch Dogs. I don't know what it is, but the driving in those games is terrible. It really kills the mood. Like in the first one, I was like, what is this? This is real bad. It makes Far Cry's driving look great. And Far Cry's driving is not very good.
Yeah.
No,
but I can play it. I can drive around in Far Cry. Like, I don't know what it was with Watch Dogs. I'll never forget the first time I played it, and I was driving around that neighborhood, like the little neighborhood with the nice houses and everything. And I was like, I'm gonna hit all these people, and he's like I cannot keep this car on the street. Like, what is happening?
Yeah.
Yeah, even
so high for that game.
As much as Sports Story let me down, it's still not LA Noire bad. Like that's still a go. I hate that game, and I've met so many people that really like it. They're like, "What? I love that game."
But once you know to tick to that game, you're like, "Yeah, that's not good."
Such a let. It wasn't at all what I honestly thought it was going to be. Like I knew that there were detective things, and I honestly thought it was like Mafia. I was like, it's Grand Theft Auto. It's older. It's gonna be like a Mafia thing. They've got like this little interrogation thing, and they're like, no, that is the thing. Like this is the game.
Detective Simulator.
What the fuck, Rockstar? Why? Why? I've been driving around, world's just empty. I'm like, this makes no sense. They literally they pioneered this game. And they're like, you know what? I'm not going to do it.
Well,
we're going to give you the stripped down, dumbed version of this game. Here you go.
It's awful. And I remember the reason I'm so excited for is I love those Mafia, Godfather, Black Hand Edition. I actually really enjoyed the Scarface game. Saints Row. Like these are my things, man. I dig these style of games.
Getaway.
Yeah, and like here comes LA Noire, and I was like, dude, Rockstar's back. No.
Nope.
You guys can tell how much I'm jaded. Still
so mad. I should go get my copy of it and just show it to you.
Still angry.
I think I still have it in plastic. I don't think I ever unwrapped it. Still sitting in plastic.
Damn, the amount of brand new games Dev has.
Man, when I worked at Best Buy, I used to just get so many games for either dirt cheap or free. I just didn't have time to play them, so they're just still sitting there in plastic.
You just hoarded them. You just kept them all.
Basically. They look really nice on the little shelf.
But now they're just like in a box?
They're like in this little shelf where I have a bunch of like my
you do
physical
have-
copies of games. Yeah, they're just
Okay.
they're not on display. They're in a bookshelf that has like doors, and they're just behind it. And that's where all my physical copies of games are. There's not very many.
So I guess
copies
it
of
begs
anything
to
there.
ask the question: why keep them? Why not just sell them
Because they're not really worth anything at this point.
or just give them to somebody that could use them? Maybe.
Because I don't like people like that.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Yeah, these are mine.
Fuck them, man.
Yeah, these
Little
are mine.
boys just like looking at a console in the window. Dev walks by. He's like, "They're fucking awesome. I hope you get one day."
100%. I'm not here for you. I'm here for me.
Oh.
All right. On that note, this will do it for episode 73 of the Place of Video Games podcast. We hope you guys had as much fun listening to our nonsense as we did spewing it out. So until next time.
Fabulous.